Hello, welcome to day 2 of the Northeast Region's Open Championship here at Ponds Forge. 25 metres of course, short course. And first event of the morning, ready to start. First heat of the 100 freestyle for women. There will be 7 heats in total. And a lineup for the first one: Annabelle Cooper of Weir Valley, Anna Morris Loftus Dolphins, Naomi Calvert of City of Bradford, Jessie Finley, City of Sheffield, Gracie Shepherd of City of Sheffield, Megan Kirkman of York City. We actually don't have a lane number 3, but everybody else in situ. First 50 about to be completed by Jessica Wright. Chester Street had a very good first 50. She leads at the split. 29.25 for the 16-year-old Chester Street. Entered in on the 1:02.30, so that time's probably going to come down appreciably this morning, maybe towards the 60 seconds. Well, she's now being caught by Annabelle Cooper and Anna Morris of Loftus Dolphins, but I think she's still got enough to hold on. Last few metres, and it will be Jessica Wright who gets it, 1:01.92. So just over half a second PB for Jessica Wright. Second place to Anna Morris. And third to Annabelle Cooper, 1:02.30 for the second place swimmer, 1:02.49 for the third. Heat number 2 of the 100 freestyle for women: Kiara Healy of Halifax, Ava Garcia of Harrogate, the 13-year-old Laura Burgess of Darlington, then Sophie Much of Newcastle, Ellen Winters, City of Bradford, Macy Higginbottom of Kingston Hull, Ellie Burke of South Tyneside, Chester Street's Hannah Wright, Grace Cook of Loftus Dolphins, and Chloe Eade of Borough Barnsley. And a real good first 50 for lane 3. Sophie Much of Newcastle, the 18-year-old, looking to get down to maybe 60 this morning. She's on 61.5 entry time. Good turn and a good third 25 from Hannah Wright of Chester Street up there in lane number 7. And Chloe Eade of Borough Barnsley going very well too. So probably about 4 of them coming off the wall virtually identically. Lane 3 looking good. Lane 8 and 9 looking pretty good on the far side now. Is it going to be 3? Looks like it is to me. It is Sophie Much with a 1:01.47, so a little improvement. It was 1:01.50 her entry time, so 3 100ths better than she's been before. Second place, Laura Burgess, and third, Hannah Wright. Heat number 3 of the 100 freestyle for women: Sophie Bazaraba of Skipton, Abigail Naylor of City of Bradford, 2 from Harrogate, Louisa Ibbison and Agatha Scott, City of Leeds with Sienna Ho Shing, Skipton's Madison Turner, Alana McDonald from Borough of Stockton, Caris Neal Rotherham, Alexandra Woodhead of Borough of Kirklees, and Rebecca Wren of Tynedale. Takes us through the whole 10. Almost took us through the first 50 as well. Lane 6 looking prominent. Alana McDonald of Borough Stockton. Here's right up there. She was actually third on the turn. Louisa Ibbison, Agatha Scott, Alana McDonald, all under the 30 on the split. The yellow cap of City of Leeds, Sienna Ho Shing, looking like she's just hit the front. Being pursued by Agatha Scott of Harrogate. 3 yellow caps there, but the lead tour, I think, probably just about got the strength to take this one at the end. She's being closed down quickly, but it is good enough, and she'll go sub-minute. Short course for the first time, 59.89 for Sienna Ho Shing. First sub-60 second swim we've seen this morning in the 100 freestyle. All 10 swimmers in for heat number 4 of the 100 freestyle. Paige Fenton of Skipton had a good day yesterday. Did the 16-year-old. Niamh Balding of Borough of Kirklees. Ella Took of Tynemouth. Emma Moore of Harrogate. Bethany Jordan, City of Wakefield. Emily Wright, South Hunslet. Macy Yoxall of Borough of Barnsley. Emily Brooke of Borough of Kirklees. Una Gregory, York City. And in the outside lane, lane 9, Madison Johnson. Look to the centre lanes, though, for where the leader might come from. Bethany Jordan from Emma Moore at the 50 stage. Ella Took in 3rd place. 4th is Paige Fenton. 2 of these have been sub-60 before. Bethany Jordan 59.94. Emily Wright 59.96. 3 and 4 still going well, but a terrific turn by Ella Took in lane number 2. And the 15-year-old from Tynemouth is coming very, very strongly at the end and might come through to win this in lane 2. And she does in 59.74. Half a second PB for Ella Took. That's a terrific last 25. Came off that wall very strongly. Was a little bit behind Emma Moore and Bethany Jordan. But by the time she got to the 15-metre mark, she was well and truly in command. Second of our sub-60 swims today. Fastest so far from Ella Took. Wait for confirmation on that. Hasn't yet been confirmed up on the screen. No DQs. It is now confirmed. 59.74 for our winner, Ella Took. Heat number 5. First of these cyclically seeded heats. All these swimmers have gone sub-minute. In the case of Ellie Walker and Az Thicket, they've gone sub-57 as well. So expecting a lot more speed. And probably all attention should be trained on 4 and 5, the 2 fastest on paper coming in to heat number 5. Ellie Walker with a really good start for Tadcaster, the 18-year-old, leading at the halfway stage. 7.58. Time she turns in, we'll keep a note of that for the next couple of races. But she's got this pretty much under control. She had at 50. Now it's a question of whether potentially Lucy Headley can close her down from Tynemouth. She's getting closer. So too now is Alice Thicket on the far side. Have either of them got enough? And also a late burst here from Abigail Parkinson of Tadcaster in 2, but I think it's going to be 4. Ellie Walker's going to hold on for the win. 57.58 for her. I'll keep you a little bit in reserve for later on today. Of course, going to make top 10 to make it through, but that's a very good chance she will at 57.58. Second place going to Abigail Parkinson, 58.29. We had 6 there under the minute. Heat 6. The 55.7 catches my eye from Chester Street. That's Lauren Graham. And she's off pretty quickly. Not as quickly, though, as Harriet Rogers of Darlington, who gets to the 25 marker before the others. But this is a very competitive race. We've probably only dropped maybe a couple of swimmers off the back here. 5 or 6 virtually in the line. Still 5, though. Still Harriet Rogers into the wall. Marginally ahead of Lauren Graham. Beth Hall is 3rd. Molly Garrett in 4th place. And it was off the dive, really, that she established herself as the potential front runner in this one, Harriet Rogers. And she continues to lead, as she did at 25, 50 and 75. But is she going to get overhauled a second now by Lauren Graham? Every possibility. She's digging in for all she's worth, but Lauren Graham might just have enough to come past her at the end. Not quite. Harriet Rogers does hold on by 7/100ths of a second. 57.71 for our winner. 15-year-old getting the better of the 20-year-old there. And 57.78 for Lauren Graham. Right down to Molly Garrett, all going well inside the minute mark. Well, Kate Clifton had a very good day yesterday. A couple of wins for her. And she is the fastest in the field in the 100 free. And off to a really good start as well. Very smooth start. Already taken about half a body length out of the field over the first 25. See where her main competitor might come from. Up the top, Caitlin Cambrook with a 58.79 to her name, having a decent start as well. But already, Kate Clifton looking like she's got this race nailed pretty close to it. 27.3 at the 50 split for Kate Clifton, and does seem to be pulling away. And again, some freestylers have those effortless strokes where they just pull away and don't seem to be doing an awful lot to do it. Everybody else, see the legs kicking, see the arms flailing a bit, and she's just got this wonderful kind of round arm stroke technique which suits her. Everybody else maybe a bit lower in the water with their arms, but she comes right out of the water and it's very effective. Works terrifically well for her. 57.53 is her finishing time. Just the fastest of the morning by a couple of 100s. Won that by second and a half from Avril Bowler in second place. Charlotte Berry in third, Georgina Wright fourth. Right, the men's 200 free. An event when we get to senior level. Certainly looking for the Olympic Games in Japan. Really good gold medal chance for our relay team in about 10 months' time. Harrison Butler of Darlington, James Hayes of Tynemouth, Connor Robinson of Chapeltown, Sam Akers of City of Bradford, Thomas Mann of North Tyneside, Loftus Dolphins, Archie Barker, Harrison Lee of City of Wakefield, Gateshead of Wickham. Normally we'd have Patrick Spade in it, but he wasn't with us yesterday and he's not with us today. I imagine there's a bit of illness or something with him in the Gateshead Wickham camp. He's not showing this weekend. So we do have an absentee in 7. 8 is Ben Towser of Pocklington. We're up towards the halfway stage of the first heat of the 200 freestyle. And Sam Akers, 15-year-old, 208.10, entered in on short course. Leads at the halfway stage. Second place, Thomas Mann. Third is James Hayes. Getting a bit tighter now, as looks like potentially Thomas Mann might come alongside Sam Akers with just over 50 to go. And also creeping up, Connor Robinson of Chapeltown. He's got himself up into second place. Outside lanes not to be discounted either. Harrison Butler and James Hayes going well in 0-1. But our leader now is Thomas Mann from Connor Robinson, Sam Akers. And it looks like the 16-year-old from North Tyneside has turned this to perfection. He's working his legs and arms just the right extent to pull away. The threat of it's going to come is going to come from Connor Robinson in 2. I think time is running out for the Chapeltown swimmer to catch him. It's going to be Thomas Mann for the win. What kind of time? 2:05.16 for him. So that's a roundabout short course wise. 2.5 second PB for Thomas Mann. So that's about lovely for the other events. They've got other events to come during the course of the morning. Well, that's a decent time to start things off with. Heat 2, there's the list in case you didn't quite catch it. Jack Miller of Gisborough, Harvey Pennington of Skipton, Matthew Lowry of Newcastle, Harvey Mathias of Darlington, James Hodgson of Sedgefield, City of Leeds represented by George Knowles, Benjamin Rogers of Stockton, Elliot Best, Newcastle, Jack Livingston, Morpeth, and Joshua Royal of Durham City. First 50 about to be completed. First to get to the wall is going to be Harvey Mathias. Second place is Matthew Lowry. Third, Elliot Best. It was one of the first of the 200 heats. This can change and transform pretty quickly during the course of a 2-minute or so race. But setting the pace, see whether they can hold on to it. Harvey Mathias with a 2:06.41 as his entry time. Short course, there's quite a lot of 2:06s here. Harvey Pennington's got one, Matthew Lowry has one, James Hodgson, George Knowles, Benjamin Rogers, Elliot Best, all on 2:06, either mid or high. But continues to lead and continues to look class act in this field at the moment is Harvey Mathias, the 15-year-old, but the pressure's starting to come now from elsewhere. Going from one from Harvey Pennington, from lane 5 from George Knowles, and from lane 7 from Elliot Best. Pennington leads, but marginally now from Mathias. Knowles, Best, separated by 0.81. Yellow cap of City of Leeds goes over first, and this will be the last 25. Should be able to hold on here, but there's a very fast finishing Elliot Best. Won't catch him though. This will be a Leeds win, and it will be George Knowles 2:05.17. So short course time wise, second quicker than he's entered in on, 2:06.4. Top two with PBs. Second place to Matthew Lowry, sorry, Harvey Pennington with a 2:05.72. E3, Richard Butterworth of Morpeth, Alex Williams Tadcaster, Jack Wood of Grimsby, Martin Smith, Borough of Kirklees, AJ Scott, Dogs of Darts, Richmond Dales, Rowan Kappelman, Josh Denham of City of Sunderland, Isaac Ripley, Borough of Stockton, Daniel Cutter, Richmond Dale, and Sam Tate of Morpeth. This is a very even split at 50. Look at that. Pretty much the whole field separated by just over a second at 50. Quarter way done. And it is lane 6. Josh Denham, 14-year-old, in fact the youngest in this field, who is leading the way. Surrounded by a lot of 15 and 16-year-olds, but he's the only 14-year-old in this field, and he's showing the older swimmers clean pair of heels at the moment at the halfway stage. He leads. Up about a second advantage over Isaac Ripley and Alex Williams. It's a really impressive display this by the 14-year-old from Sunderland. 2:05.45 is time he's entered in on. Well, he'll be quite a bit underneath that. Keeps going at this pace. Maybe getting down to the 2:03s potentially, maybe 2:03 high. Let's see. He's not in any danger of being overhauled here. The lead is still substantial. Not quite a second, but it's 0.85 and came off that wall strongly. And whilst they're all trying to battle back to get close to him, he's still got a lead of about a body length or so. Lane 1 trying to come back at him, but to no avail. Alex Williams, this is going to be a really quick time for the 14-year-old. How much of an improvement can he make from that 2:05.45? The answer is, well, 2:00.58. That's how much of an improvement. An absolutely massive improvement. Nearly 5 seconds. Well, it did look like he was leading a procession, and from 2:05.45, he's gone down to 2:00.58. Absolute huge chunk taken out of his best time there, and he won that in the end by almost 2 seconds. No time for AJ Scott at the moment. We'll come with lane 4 again, as we had yesterday. With the backup timing to give AJ Scott the time. He was in there. There you go. 2:06 34, most of an empty lane. It did take a while to get that backup timing, but he places 4th. Right, into the cyclically seeded heats. Won't yet get to a sub 2-minuter. They will start in heat number 5. Actually, no, the cyclically seeded will be 5, 6, 7, not 4, 5, 6. So, got a little while to wait, but nearly got a sub 2 there. Finley Allman of City of Sheffield, Finley Walligora, York City, Cameron McKinnon of Harrogate, Matthew Cairns of Durham City, City of Leeds with Harry Milner, Brandon Cartwright's Borough of Kirklees, William Ellis of Borough of Stockton, Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle, Jonathan Back of Darlington, and Louis Dove of City of Bradford. That's your lineup, and there's not much to choose between any of the 10. Nobody's really made a decisive or potentially decisive break yet. In 4, Harry Milner, City of Leeds, probably just got himself ahead of the others. But 6, 7, 8, 9 are very, very closely grouped here. So I think he'll just about hold on, Harry Milner, for a bit. The halfway stage. 58.49 for him. Walligora is about a quarter of a second back. Cairns 0.62. Doing the hard yards here by leading everybody out and trying to hold on. The moment he's doing it very successfully as well. So 75 to go, and they will start to work their way back to him, of course. Finley Walligora of York City up into 3rd place now, but 2nd is Matthew Cairns of Durham City. They'll go over virtually together. Milner's lead has been trimmed down to a 1/3 of a second. Finley Walligora in 3rd place. William Ellis is in 4th now. But this is the part of the race where it really does get quite congested. Desperate to hold on here, Harry Milner. And equally as desperate to catch him as Matthew Cairns. But I think the lead swimmer probably has just about got this. Tight though it's going to be. Good brave swim from Milner. 2:00.86 for him. Getting close to that 2 minutes from 2:03.10. That's where he came in. 2:00.86. There's quite a few PBs in there. William Ellis in 2nd has done one. Matthew Cairns in 3rd has done one. Finley Walligora, all of them improving on their entry times. Heat number 5, Matthew Salou of Borough of Barnsley, Benjamin Shipley, Kingston upon Hull, Jack Herworth of Darlington, then 2 from Sheffield, Simon Clement and Eugene Brooks-Clark, Barnaby Howarth Osborne of Sheffield City in 5, 6 Thomas English of Chestnut Street, 7 Ben Sheldon of City of Leeds, Billingham's Max Upton in 8, and 9 is Toby Mayfield of York City. First 50 done. Eugene Brooks-Clark, brother of Cameron, who we will see later in the competition, I think. He's got a race or two later on, but there's Eugene leading the way. Sheffield winning the majority of the finals yesterday. But he may not be leading for much longer because Jack Herworth of Darlington's making quite a break. He's going to be right alongside Brooks-Clark. Could be lane 2, could be lane 4. Very close. Well, 4 of them separated by no time at all. 1/3 of a second between our leader in 4th place. That's the halfway stage. And this is going to be quite a race. That's the race we've seen recently. One person's led from the front early on and kept there until the conclusion, but this is not going to be the case. There's going to be quite a few changes in lead here potentially. In 5, Barnaby Howarth Osborne and Sheffield City, probably just taken over the lead. He has from Eugene Brooks-Clark, and then Simon Clement, then Jack Herworth. Top 3 now, just opening up a bit of an advantage over the others, but that kind of spearhead formation between the 3 of them. Maybe just dropping off a little bit off the back of the pack is Simon Clement. Well, having said that, he had such a good turn. He came right back alongside Eugene Brooks-Clark. 3 of them will go to the wall together, and that will be a pretty quick time. not as quick as he has been, but 1:55.55 for Eugene Brooks-Clark, who gets his hand on the wall first. Simon Clement came back very strongly over the last 25, 1:55.8. And Barnaby Howarth Osborne, third place. So 1, 2, 3 separated by just 0.35 as second. Ben Shelton was in the fourth. Heat number 6. Well, Elliot Clogg's in here. Now, Elliot Clogg had a double yesterday. And it's going to be him against Thomas Flower, you would think, for the victory later. Provided, of course, he makes it through. But they're both on 1:48. 1:48.8, 1:48.2. Clogg with very good wins, a very impressive 100 backstroke and 100 freestyle yesterday. Setting the pace in this one. The onside, Ned Sharp. There are 3 of them, actually 4 of them pretty much in the line as they come to the 75-meter stage. Clogg has Harry Nicholson to his left, Ned Sharp to his right. One lane up from Sharp is Mason Bland of Kingston upon Hull. Halfway stage, Elliot Clogg 56.73. Just still in front. Nicholson's about a quarter of a second back. And Sharp, that's the 3 who are probably in contention to win this. So the times between Elliot Clogg and Ned Sharp are quite a lot. There's 7 seconds differential in their entry time, but not showing that way in the pool here. Nicholson, the 15-year-old, Clogg 20 now. 50 to go for him. And everything looking pretty smooth and very controlled from Elliot Clogg. Back in the Sheffield fold after a little while at Loughborough. On his way back, last 25. And everything looking quite rhythmical. And should be around 1:52, you'd think, 1:52-ish. 1:52.63 for Elliot Clogg. Place to Harry Nicholson, 1:54.24, so that's a new PB for him, short course. Ned Sharp in third, fourth, Mason Bland. Final heat. So we can do a bit of compare and contrast here with the performance of Elliot Clogg in heat number 6 and Tom Flower, who goes in heat number 7 for Richmond Dale. 2 Richmond Dale swimmers side by side, both 20 years of age. Callum Hall in 3, Tom Flower in 4. There's another 1:48 short course time. Swam particularly well yesterday. And of course, we're looking for the next lot of 200-meter freestyle swimmers, because our relay team is so good right now. There needs to be some successes to the likes of Duncan Scott, James Guy, etc. Well, he's not holding back this morning, which is good to see. It's so easy when he looks around the rest of the field to say, well, I've got plenty in reserve here, I don't need to go for broke, but I'm sure he would like to be a little bit quicker than Elliot Clogg, maybe get down to 1:50, 1:51, something like that. So keeping a lot in reserve tonight for the final later on today. There's any doubt he's going to make it. But there's absolutely no doubt he's going to make it. So winning this by a comfortable distance at halfway and at 125. The only real pressure he's under coming from Jason Robson of York City in the adjoining lane, 16-year-old. Just upping his stroke rate a bit. See, the gap is still quite big. Robson in second place. Thomas Flower absolutely on top form. Probably eased off a little bit here. Jason Robson going for the best time he can achieve. We're going to get a little glide in from our winner. And, well, we can't give it that time. We can now. 1:52.22 for Thomas Flower. So just a little bit quicker. 0.4 of a second quicker than was Elliot Clogg. I think he just kind of eased back a little bit at the end. Looking like probably the favourite to win that later today, but Elliot Clogg may have other things to say about it. Jason Robson second, Curtis Harper in third, Patrick Schimin in fourth. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 200 freestyle. On to the 50 breaststroke for women, which we will have 9 heats. 9 heats of the smash and dash. And just one empty lane here in 0, but all the others are occupied. All the ones that should be occupied are occupied. Frankie Ness, Doncaster Darts, the 14-year-old. Quite prominent, but not quite as prominent at the moment as is Alexa Ball of Newcastle. She's probably going to come through. It's a very fast finishing Lucy Weldon, though, of Beverly Barracuda, but Alexa Ball does get it. Charlotte Kenneth in second place. Third, Lucy Weldon, winning time 36.97. That's the first sub 37th swim in this event, short course for Alexa Ball. Heat number 2, we don't have a lane 4, so we can scratch Libby Grayson, but everybody else in place, all with very similar entry times, 37, 37.2, 37.4. Very little to choose between them, but I think they will be at the end of this one because the front runner is Holly Pearson. What a terrific first 25 now. If she can bring this back, 37.04 will be a thing of the past. She is winning this by a very comfortable stretch. Probably about 2 body lengths advantage here. This is going to be very, very quick. No 37s, 35. Oh, surely, yeah, 35.34 for our winner. Very impressive stuff from the Borough of Kirklees swimmer. 35.34. She won that by how much? 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Over 2 seconds. 2.19 she won that by. Molly Robertson second, Susanna Radatz in third. Heat number 3 of the 50 breaststroke. And we've got all in place apart from one. Lane 7 not showing, but everybody else involved in the action. And a very low and tight 50 breaststroke stroke we're seeing from lane number 4. Isabella Montague hardly comes above the surface of the water. Quite a few other people are nodding, but she's very streamlined, very low to the water, and very effective because she's not having to use any extra work with the shoulders. That's a very, very compact little swim there from Isabella Montague. 36.25 compared to a 36.54 entry time, so in the right direction. But I'm very impressed with that because often with sprint breaststrokers they tend to look like corks on the water sometimes and bob up and down, but she's had a very streamlined approach to that. It worked very well for her. Heat 4, obviously on day 2 we get a few withdrawals, but everybody who's listed to be in Heat 4 is in there. Again, it's not much to choose time-wise, not these converted times, but lane 4 is where my attention is being directed right now. Elif Kelekay of Gateshead and Wickham, 14-year-old. Got a bit of pressure arriving now from Phoebe McNicholas to her right-hand side, and further up from York City, Sophia Quinnell is coming storming through in 7 and gets just edged out by Elif Kelekay. 36.09 compared to 37.26, but that will be an improvement, I think, for Kelekay. Yeah, it is, just by 1/100th of a second. Should get our first sub 36 here. There's some 35.8s in the field. 35.8 for Chloe Simpson, 35.9 for Laura Gray, 35.87 for Millie Edeka, and 35.9 for Megan Taylor. They're the ones in the centre lanes. Start from Jasmine Ball of Borough Barnsley, though, the 13-year-old on the far side. Got a lovely stroke, and do you know what? She's powering through here. The 13-year-old, the youngest swimmer in this field, I think is going to go on and win this. Jasmine Ball, what a terrific swim this is. 35.91, her best before today. 35.32 this time. 35.32 for Jasmine Ball. I know the Borough Barnsley supporters and parents are watching in on the stream, so good morning to you. That's a terrific swim by Jasmine Ball, taking over half a second off her PB. Terrific stuff, really good. Really attacked that race. You can do, of course, in a sprint, but her attack was better than everybody else's. Heat number 6 of the 50 breaststroke. 35.4s, 35.5s in this field. 9.6. Katie Stobbs of Tynemouth. The youngsters having a good morning here, the 13 and 14-year-olds. Katie Stobbs and Holly Stead, who is 17 from City of Sheffield, to the right of her, but Katie Stobbs came off that wall, very determined to go on and win this. And again, keeping as low trajectory in the water as she can do to take it. Katie Stobbs does take it, 35.24. So about a quarter of a second better than she has been before. And that is the fastest time of the morning so far. Into the cyclically seeded now. So things will get a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit more competitive, we'll see. Georgina Wright is the quickest in this field, but a second I reckon over the rest, so she should have maybe a little edge. We'll see. Quite a few surprises over the first day or so. But she's into a stroke, Georgina Wright, as too is Rebecca Keatley of Middlesbrough. Right alongside her, 4 and 5, and down in lane 2, Megan Kirkman of York City with a good first 25. Not quite as good off the wall, but it's going to be 4 or 5. Is it going to be Georgina Wright, or is it going to be Rebecca Keatley? Keatley gets it. 34.25 for our winner. 34.32 for Georgina Wright. Heat number 8 of the 50 breaststroke. Paige Fenton back again for more from Skipton. She's the fastest in this field at 32. But not at the moment, she's not. Because Alexandra Hurd of Tadcaster has had a terrific first 25, which she was leading for a bit, but then all of a sudden, to my peripheral vision, Paige Fenton was just getting going. But she is under a bit of pressure to win this from Alexandra Hurd of Tadcaster, the 19-year-old on the far side. But I think strength is going to win out for Paige Fenton. 33.41 for our winner. First sub 34 swim. Just mentioned the age group pool is underway to my right, with the girls 800 freestyle heat number 1 underway. So you're going to watch the action from the age group pool. It's also on the supporting stream here in the main pool, the open pool. This will be the last heat of the 50 breaststroke with Maya Hall, 31.6. Nobody else in this field's got sub 32 before, and she's aiming to do it again here. Probably won't have to go 31.6 or anything like it to make the final tonight. Under some pressure from Zoe Price at Gateshead and Wickham at the closing stages, but she'll get there. 32.76 for our winner. Second place, Zoe Price, 33.26. Emily Robson of York City, 34.23. Just the 4 to go in the opening heat of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. We will have in total 9 heats of the 100 breaststroke. It's the PT effect, maybe. A lot of people wanting to do 100 breaststroke these days. Well, we've got 9 of them. Now, I'm hoping that all 4 in here can get within their entry times, which are very, very similar. 1:18.31 for Chase Darby, who's in 4. 1:18.39 for Byron Peel, who's in 5. The late 6 it is, who's leading them home. Antonio Stanchev. Got about 0.66 of a lead from Newcastle, 15-year-old. That's it. In the early heats, that's what you want to see. Stanchev's got a really nice breaststroke too, nice and economical. 15 years of age at 2 other 15-year-olds and 1 14-year-old in this field, but Stanchev, who on paper was the slowest coming in, looks like he's going to be the quickest when this race is done. I think his 1:18.76 can be consigned to history. He closed down by Byron Peel at the closing stages here, but Stanchev will get it. 1:16.49, so over 2-second improvement for Antonio Stanchev. And Byron Peel with a 1:16 for 1:18. Swimmers caught the blocks, no 3. Everybody else in place though: Dion Hatfield of Billingham, Daniel Bailey of Doncaster Darts, James Hodgson Newcastle, Ethan Stannard of Stokesley, Niall Michael of Selby, James Tomlinson Haslam of Chapeltown, Jacob Wassell of Rotherham Metro, Daniel Mensah of City of Wakefield, and Kieran Much of Newcastle. And some impressive early display here by the 14-year-old from Stokesley, Ethan Stannard. 1:17.5 he's entered in on. Let's get an idea what he's looking like at 50 here. 23.78 at the halfway stage. Well, we bring it back. That kind of pace is going to be knocking quite a lot of time off his personal best. Winning this by about a body length and a half at the moment. With another 25 to go. Doesn't look like anybody's going to get particularly close to him here either. The lead does seem to be opening up still further for Ethan Starr, the 14-year-olds. 2 14-year-olds in this field, and here's one of them, with one being James Hodgson in 2. But let's see what kind of time we can post here. 1:14, actually better. 1:13.72. So that's a massive chunk taken off his entry time. So heading very much in the right direction, Ethan Stannard, with that. So he plays James Hodgson. Well, 1:15.3. So the 2 14-year-olds getting the 1 and 2 places there. Heat 3. All present and correct in this one. Now, everybody, barring the outside lane, have got a 1:16.4, 5 or 6 pretty much. So this should be very competitive if we extrapolate those entry times into what could potentially happen in the pool here. Samuel Pickup of York City, the 15-year-old, setting the early pace. To his right, Gregor Batley of Anik Dolphins. Top of the picture, Matthew Blaine of Kingston upon Hull going well as well. They should be the 1, 2, 3 at turn, but Blaine just gets in between the two of them. Pick up at 35.29. Nowhere near as quick as heat number 2 though at the 50 stage. Pickup is right on the shoulder of Batley. 4 and 5, but it is Gregor Batley with a 1:16.45 again. Another 14-year-old. The 14-year-olds are having a good time this morning, really enjoying themselves, and he certainly is with this swim. 1:16.45 is going to be a time that you won't have to put down on a sheet of paper anymore. It'll be a much, much quicker time. 1:15.30 for our winner. There's the 1:15s. He goes. Second place to Harry Hawkett and Matthew Blaine in third place. But we get some big improvements here, which is good, as we suspect we might from the early stages here. Number 4. Group of 3 1:15ers, in fact 4 1:15ers in the centre. 3, 4, 5 and 6 all gone sub 1:16 before, but a flying start by Daniel Jones of Tyndale up in lane number 8. Well, he's really going for this big style. 1:16.35 his best time. Well, the threat's going to come from 4 Noel Cooper, it seems, but just unaware of that. Just head down, see what he can do, and Daniel Jones is doing it at early stages. 33.92 is the split time. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to ease up anytime soon. Just look at the very contrasting strokes here. Breaststroke, he comes quite a way out of the water. Some stay very streamlined to the water. It's kind of what works for you and what is effective. Some coaches like you to stay as low as possible on the water. Jones has come out quite a long way, but it's effective right now. I don't think Noel Cooper's going to get back alongside him. He's not. Daniel Jones is going to take this in lane number 8. Oh, it's not come up on the board for some reason. He will do in a moment. He hasn't got a time. He will. There's the winner. 1:13.24 for our winner. And that's a 3-second PB for Daniel Jones. Really attacked that race. Really aggressive. Took it by the scruff of the neck. Knew there were quite a few swimmers in there who'd been quicker than he, but that didn't affect his strategy at all. Like a sprint breaststroke technique. I'm not sure that would convert to 200 particularly easily, but works at 50 and 100. Heat 5. Not towards the cyclically seeded ones yet. They will come in as of Heat 7. Morgan Swells, Luke Baker, Charlie Broom, Miles Tupman, Joseph Dobson, all swimmers are around the 1:15 low or high. Luke Baker of Tynemouth, the 16-year-old, having a good first 25, but there's loads in contention here. Joseph Burnell on the far side, Joshua Royal and Joseph Dobson all up there too. It's going to be the outside lane. Joseph Burnell, City of Leeds, who will lead at the halfway stage, but not any longer. Coming off that wall, other people got their turns a bit better sorted than he. Joshua Royal, for example, and Luke Baker of Tynemouth, who probably has now just taken the lead. Not much between Luke Baker and Joshua Royal, though. This will be a battle royal to the end. Luke Baker of Tynemouth would be my favourite to win it right now, but not definitely nailed it as yet. I think he will now. Luke Baker comes in to the wall and gets it at 1:12.38. So that's a big leap down in time for him, bypassing the 1:13s into the 1:12 lows. 1:12.38 for Luke Baker. Joshua Royal was 0.17 adrift, and Morgan Swells in third. Heat 6. Good spread of different clubs here. Darlington, City of Bradford, Borough of Barnsley, Grimsby, Guisborough, Morpeth, Borough of Kirklees, Brickhouse and Harrogate all have swimmers entered in for this one. Lane 4, Adam Tilling of Guisborough is our leader at 25, but I think this race is going to change complexion quite quickly. There's a lot of potential leaders and winners of this one. Adam Tilling in 4 and Ben Croft in 7 and George Smith as well. Rowan Wallace going well. Look at that. It's only a second separating the majority of the field. Second half to come. Lane 4, Adam Tilling of Guisborough. Still just about holding on, but 2 up from the top there. Ben Croft of Borough of Kirklees. See it might come down to the turn here. All pretty much of a muchness. There's 4 now, 5 now in the line as they head for the wall. The winner could come from virtually anywhere. Could come from 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7. It's going to be on the nod, and it's going to be just Dominic Anderson. 1:13.52 from Morpeth. No, it's not. Jack Wood gets it. 1:13.32. 0.2 of a second between them. Just corrected on the screen. Jack Wood by 0.2 of a second getting that one. Heat number 7. So we are now into the cyclically seeded heats. The quicker swimmers now appear, apart from one who has not appeared. So there's an empty lane 6, but all the others are occupied. And the speedier of the speedy merchants here. Lane 3 in particular, Tom Ward of Borough Stockton's got into his stroke very well, but it's going to be another race like the last one. Watch out for the outside smoker here too, Adam Wood in lane 0. And it could well be Wood, who's second behind Shem Fair at the halfway stage. Cameron Green 3rd, Tom Ward 4. Still time for this race to change complexion in the next 30 metres or so. But looking pretty strong, looking like he's pretty much under control of things. Shem Fair in 4, but right on his shoulder comes through Cameron Green of City of Leeds, who really wants this as well. But who's it going to be? Is it going to be Sheffield City swimmer or City of Leeds swimmer? I'll give it to the Sheffield City swimmer myself, and yeah, right to do so. 1:07.92, slightly outside his best. Cameron Green in 2nd place, 3rd place to Arthur Llewellyn, and 4th Adam Wood. Fastest time, of course, as we get into the faster swimmers in the last 3 heats. 1:07.97. Well, one of the quick swimmers from East Leeds, Max Elphick in this one in 4. He's been sub 67. Stephen Stanley's been sub 68. Simon Robson knocking on the door of 68. But East Leeds have got a great reputation for their shorter distance swimmers. They're very good on the sprints. Not too bad on some of their hundreds as well. And this looks like it's absolutely tailor-made for the 23-year-old from East Leeds, Max Elphick. Halfway stage, got a good body length or so advantage over the field. 31.49 for his split time. Second is Matthew Slater. 3rd, Jacob Davison at this stage. But they ain't going to catch Max Elphick. That's for certain. He's gone for all money. Going to win this by a comfortable margin. They're just turning now, and he's on his way back up the pool. Nice turn from Stephen Stanley of Tadcaster off that last 25, but no doubt Elphick's going to get it now. Can he get inside 1:06.9? He certainly can. 1:06.15 for Max Elphick. And that second half was even more strong than was the first. Especially he was impressed when they just suddenly slipped into another gear. 1:06.15 winning time, and he won that by, would you believe, 4 seconds. 4 seconds in 100 breast. He may not be as quick as Joseph Moore, who we'll get to see now in lane 4 in the final heat from Harrogate. 64 high as an entry time, but that was catching my eye early on here. Oswald Hood of Alnwick, the 19-year-old, and it's going to be him they've got to catch. 109.10 he's entered in on. I think Joseph Moore just realised he's going to have to up the ante a bit here if we're going to not lose this race. He's got a bit of catching up to do at the halfway stage with Oswald Hood. And I'm not sure he's going to have enough time in which to do so. We'll have to see. 3, Drew Chester's Loftus Dolphins coming right back into it, but I think just off that beginning, off that start, it's not a sprint, but Oswald Hood in 6 has had a terrific swim here, and he's going to be massively inside his 109.10. 105.20, not even close. 105.20, a 4-second PB for Oswald Hood in lane 6. And I was talking up Joseph Moore. He was second, 106.3, but 105.2 is uncharted territory for Oswald Hood. A very, very good swim indeed. Terrific start, and he never really backed off. There's a huge smile on his face in lane 6. Not surprised. Just double checking that time is correct. Well, I can tell you it is. That's probably beyond his wildest beliefs, but Adikava, a very, very decent swimmer there. 19-year-old with that 105.2. As we move on to the women's 400 metres individual medley. 3 to start in heat number 1. In total we will have 5 of these. And they've all got, as often happens with the early stages, these heats, very, very similar, almost symmetrical entry times. 5:28.6, 5:28.4, 5:28.5. Aldridge from Tynemouth, Annabelle Cooper of Weir Valley, Alana McDonald of Borough Stockton are your 3. 16-year-old in lane 3, 14-year-old in lane 4, and Alana McDonald is 15. Butterfly, of course, first over the 400 IM. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and the front crawl. And when we get into the races with more swimmers in, we'll see the complexion change. One of the great things about the IM is that you might be a strong butterflyer, but the breaststroke's not that good. You'll find yourself being overhauled pretty quickly. Looks like a straight head-to-head here between lanes 4 and 5 at this stage anyway. Annabelle Cooper in the centre lane from Weir Valley, the 14-year-old. She's over a body length advantage at this stage over Alana McDonald. Nearly Aldridge Tynemouth just a little way back. Backstroke working pretty well for Annabelle Cooper. Lead is stretched to almost 2 seconds now. With rhythmical backstroke, stays in the centre of the lane, which is always something I like to see with our backstrokers. Not trying to pull on the lane rope. Nice and high in the water. Extending that lead still further. Quite a gap between 1 and 2. And a reasonable gap between 2 and 3 at the moment as well. But 14-year-old Annabelle Cooper. 14-year-olds are having a really terrific morning generally here. And she's leading by a substantial amount. It was about a second. It's creeping up. Now, the breaststroke appears to be a strong suit here for Alana McDonald. She's now starting to make some inroads. This is what I like about the IM. Is you look at halfway, think, right, she's got that nailed, but then the stronger stroke Oh, what a good turn off the breaststroke from Alana Madol. She used all the underwater she could there, has nearly brought herself alongside Annabelle Cooper. Remember, she had a huge lead during the backstroke. That lead has virtually evaporated now. Not long before Alana Madol's in front. 1.32 at the moment, but that lead will rapidly disappear. Madol, I think, probably by the end of this breaststroke leg will be leading. But just been trying to hold her off, and she's still just about doing so, but they'll probably go into the wall at identical times. She's got such a good turn as Alana Madol, and off that turn she does take the front place in this race. And will lead by about half a body length, maybe a bit more by the time they turn here. So for the first time she is in the lead at a split. The lead is second. Yeah, the Aldridge finding life a bit tough this morning. The Tynemouth swimmer all got relatively similar entry times, as I mentioned, but that's not the way that this race is panning out now. It's definitely going in the direction and in the favour of Alana McDonald of Borough Stockton. The top two certainly have every chance of getting their 5:28s down to 5:25, 5:24, maybe a bit below. So look at the turning time here with 50 to go. 4:45, yeah, well, they should be massively inside their 5:28s here. Both of the swimmers with those entry times should pull them back by quite a few seconds, you would think. Alana McDonald has 25 remaining, and looking to be on course for somewhere around a 5:21 or 2, I think. .521 probably, 5:21 it is, 5:21.34 for our winner. And that is something like a 7-second PB, just over a 7-second PB for Alana McDonald. Don't have a time for Annabelle Cooper. It did finish in second place. Sorry about that. Lane 4 is still causing us some concerns. There she goes, 5:25.53. So, despite the fact she did get overhauled at the end, still a 3-second PB for the Weir Valley swimmer. We'll have a swim off in the 50 breaststroke later on. That will come up in a few events time, but we will be having a swim off for the final of the 50 breaststroke for women. Number 2 of the 400 IM for women. We have an absentee in lane number 3. All the others who we expect to be there are there, so I'll name them for you. Jessie Finley of the City of Sheffield is in 1. 2 is Freya Tyas, York City. Our leader up there in 7, by the way, is Megan Benhouse Smith, City of Leeds at the 50 stage. Neem Aitchison of Morpeth in 4. Daisy Gutteridge of Dogside Darts in 5. 6 is Evie Glossop of City of Sheffield. And 8 is Elizabeth Russell of City of Leeds. Early stages, Leeds are dominating this one in the outside lanes in 7 and 8. Megan Benhouse Smith, a 17-year-old. It's a 5:27 as her entry time. The 2 centre lanes, Neem Aitchison and Daisy Gutteridge both have 5:24s. So flying done. Onto the backstroke for our leader. Leader up there in lane number 7, Megan Benhouse Smith. Just working her way through the field now is Neem Aitchison of Morpeth, the 15-year-old. But still quite a bit of a gap. 2 lead swimmers still at the front of the field. And Aitchison in 4. And Freya Tyas of York City in lane 2. That's top 4 on the backstroke. Quite well spread, this field at the moment. But as we saw last time, last event, the breaststroke does change everything, just gives it a little shake up. And we may see that happening here. Megan Belhouse-Smith, though, has got a considerable lead now from Niamh Aitchison, lane number 4. And finding the backstroke to her liking is Freya Tyas of York City, who's coming through as well. Probably up into potentially 4th, certainly 4th at the moment, I think. Right, the breaststroke starts now. Let's see how that works for Megan Belhouse-Smith. Looks to be working quite well for Niamh Aitchison in lane 4. She is making inroads now. The Morpeth swimmer is definitely coming through. Really catching Megan Belhouse-Smith with virtually every stroke here. There's a couple of body lengths between them, but I think looking across the pool, it seemed that Niamh Aitchison's maybe got let's say slightly better breaststroke, but she's not now eating into that lead quite as much as she was. Up in 6, Evie Glossop, City of Sheffield, is moved into a 3rd place and has got her eyes very much on making 2nd place her own very shortly. Still the lead swimmer in 7th, Megan Belhouse-Smith, is holding on, but holding on probably the operative work as Niamh Aitchison is getting closer. Hasn't gone alongside her yet. Still a reasonable distance between the two of them. But the swimmer making the biggest inroad is Evie Glossop of City of Sheffield. I think Megan Belhouse-Smith will be happy this breaststroke leg has not done too much damage. Niamh Aitchison's not caught her yet, but she's not too far away. Lead swimmer in 7. 17-year-old will turn with a lead of 0.80. I think that's the wrong way around, but Smith, Aitchison, maybe Aitchison just got on the touchpad a bit quicker. But the lead swimmer still, I think, is leading, albeit not by a great deal, from Niamh Aitchison of Morpeth. There's the O2 are likely to win this now. Evie Glossop has the water all to herself, nothing much happening around her in 3rd place. Battle for 1st, though, is a very, very strong one between the 17-year-old from Leeds in 7, 15-year-old from Morpeth in 4, who now is starting to just open those arms up, kick those legs a bit stronger, and does move into a tangible lead, and a lead that she should be able to hold on to for the end. Megan Belhouse-Smith doing her best to try and retrieve the situation, but I don't think she's going to be able to do that. 5:24 the entry time for Niamh Aitchison, and that is bettered by quite some way. Just wait for it to be confirmed on the board, because yes, it was Niamh Aitchison who won it. 5:19.78 was the winning time. Just apologies again, we're having a few graphics problems here. One of our making is something to do with the timing system, but unfortunately occasionally is not giving us the right winner. $5:19.78 for our winning swimmer, which is Niamh Aitchison. Evie Glossop, 5:27 in 2nd. Oh, by the way, Megan Belhouse-Smith was disqualified. So no time for Megan Belhouse-Smith, even though she was 2nd in the finish. DQ for the lead swimmer in lane number 7. On to heat number 3. Lily Bryant of Borough of Kirklees, Leonie Young of Billingham, Seren Williams of Borough of Stockton, Agatha Scott, Harrogate, Penny Hobson, Borough of Kirklees. From Rotherham Metro is Lauren Empson, Amy Kitching of Kingston upon Hull, Chestnut Street's Naomi Shevels, Natasha Green of Borough of Kirklees, and Uda Gregory, York City. That's all the names of all the swimmers involved in heat number 3 of the 400 IM. So I saw how things change and can change quite rapidly in the IM. Butterfly, at the moment working beneficially for Penny Hobson of Borough of Kirklees. Just started in the morning so far, and Lee Aitchison with that 5:19.78 in the previous one. Oh, a few of these swimmers have been quicker than that, so including our leader. Penny Hobson with a 1:07 lead. Three lanes up from her. The nearest challenger, though she may not be aware of it, is Naomi Shivels of Chester Street. And also down below us, always easy to miss out on the outside lane when lane 0 is right down below us. Lily Bryant's having a terrific swim for the Borough of Kirklees as well. She's in 3rd place. Our leader, though, continues to be Penny Hobson, the 14-year-old. And a decent lead too in the backstroke, 1:41 and second 0.41 for our leader. Probably won't remain that way though, because I'm looking at Amy Kitching of Kingston Hull having a very decent backstroke here, as too is the aforementioned Lily Bryant of Borough of Kirklees, but our leader looking quite serene in lane 4, Penny Hobson. But the lead is getting smaller. It's probably not the second now, it's thereabouts. No, it's not. Well, it's saying that Bryant is only 3/100ths behind. Now the breaststroke. Who has got the best of the breaststroke techniques in this lot? Who can get them through the 100 they need quickest? Well, will be being answered by Penny Hobson already. Very tight between her and Lily Bryant at that last split going into the breaststroke, but now look, she's powering away. So important. If you have a really strong breaststroke and you do IM, it's such a strong suit to play. You know, technique is good, and you don't feel uncomfortable on breaststroke, and you can accommodate it within the IM. And can do wonders for your form and your possibilities of winning. It's doing a great deal for Penny Hobson right now. Nobody's anywhere near her, really. Nobody's close enough to make a challenge at this stage. 5:17.88 is the time that's listed for her as her best. She has got a good 8 or 9 metre length now lead in this one. And the only threat that's a long way back at this stage is from Naomi Shivels, Chester Street. Let's see how far back she is on this turn. You can see our leader turning now, Penny Hobson. Gap of 5.38 seconds. I don't think anybody's going to overhaul that on the front crawl. Hobson will be really looking to get one inside 5:17. Well, I think she's going to do just that. We'll get more of an idea what she could potentially achieve here when she turns, but 5:17 is not going to be on the books for much longer for her. She's going to, with 50 to go, she's got a good chance of knocking 5 seconds off maybe. She can get down to 5:12 here. Probably a bit more, 5:13, 5:14 possibly. It's a very good swim, and a very dominant swim from the 14-year-old from Borough of Kirklees. Only that slight moment before she went into the breaststroke leg where she was getting caught by Lily Bryant. Nobody's going to catch her or get anywhere near her now. 5:11.38 for our winner. That is a 6.5 second PB. Short course for Penny Hobson. Naomi Shivels finishing second place. Third, Lily Bryant. 4, Leonie Young. 5:11.38. Very, very big improvement. And much of that down to an incredibly strong breaststroke. Heat number 4 of the women's 400 metres individual medley. Sienna Ho-Shing of City of Leeds, Hannah Newnham of Doncaster Darts, Maurice Garbett of the Darts, Martha Bradley, City of Leeds, and 2 from Kingston upon Hull, Amy Corcoran and Abby Bowden, Abigail Jackson of Rotherham Metro, Leonie Jones of Borough Stockton, Jasmine Campbell, 14-year-old from Newcastle, and Millie Steele of the Borough Stockton. Well, we don't have a lane 1. And we have everybody else in place for the seat number 5. 4 of these swimmers have been sub 5 minutes before, including our leader, Abigail Miles, 15-year-old from City of Sheffield. We had such a good day yesterday. Not quite going through the card, but they had the majority wins, in some cases 1-2s yesterday. Miles on the butterfly has a substantial lead at this stage from Isabel Schimmels of, beg your pardons, Amy Corcoran. I dropped down a race there for a moment. Amy Corcoran of Kingston upon Hull with the yellow cap. Corcoran leading by a good couple of body lengths now for the rest of the field. Down in 3 is Martha Bradley, City of Leeds. Up at the top of the picture, couple up from the very top, is Leonie Jones of Borough Stockton. Amy Corcoran, though, of Kingston upon Hull, 2 of them in this race. Her teammate is in 5, Abby Bowden. Backstroke is suiting the purposes of our leader pretty well at the moment. She's not relinquishing any of that advantage to Martha Bradley of Leeds, 17-year-old leading, 15-year-old in second. Gap still around about 2 body lengths, time-wise. About 3/4 of a second. And we've got Corcoran as we get onto the breaststroke leg, and immediately my eyes are trained on lane 7, because Leonie Jones, her breaststroke is bringing her right back into contention here. Looks to be the strongest and most powerful of the field. Just breaking away from that pack that she was in after the backstroke leg. She's working her way through into 3rd and getting a bit closer now to Martha Bradley. Our leader just having her lead edged into a little bit too now. Amy Corcoran of Kingston upon Hull will note that Martha Bradley is not too far away now, just putting a bit of pressure on the 17-year-old. Gap remaining fairly static at a couple of body lengths. And then there's 3 breaststrokes on the far side all coming together. Jasmine Campbell, Leonie Jones, Abigail Jackson, all similar position in the field. But doing it the hard way, leading from the front. She was leading after butterfly, leading after the backstroke, and was leading after the breaststroke leg as well. Amy Corcoran. So into the front crawl. Martha Bradley got a 4:57 to her name. Amy Corcoran has been 5 seconds quicker than that. 4:52.93 her entry time. That lead of anything does look to be extending just a fraction more now for Amy Corcoran. Third place could go anywhere with Abby Bowden of Kingston upon Hull. Joined the front crawl part of this race quite a bit. Abigail Miles will be in the next one for Sheffield. Ella Bainbridge, Faye McDonough, some of the names we mentioned quite a lot over the course of the weekend, but we'll see the conclusion of this one. Amy Corcoran of Kingston upon Hull, 4:52 is her best. She's going to be a little bit slower than that today, but for Hasn't gone up on the board yet. We'll get it in just a moment. There you go, 4:57.67 for our winner. Yeah, about 5 seconds slower than she has been before. Martha Bradley, just outside the 5-minute barrier. Heat number 5 of the women's 400 metres individual medley. Some of the names I inadvertently mentioned to you earlier on are definitely in this race. Georgia Hadley, Richmond Dale, Neem Carroll of City of Leeds, Freya Johnson, City of Leeds, Faye McDonough of Borough Stockton, Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield, Ella Bainbridge from Doncaster Dart, her teammate Chantel War, Isabel Schimmels, Kingston upon Hull, Eva Linton of Grimsby, and Rebecca Keatley of Middlesbrough. That's your 10 who are involved in heat number 5 of the 400 metres individual medley. Abigail Miles has a 4:51.92 entry time. Madonna has a 4:57. Bainbridge a 4:55. Chantel War a 4:58. Faye Madonna, yeah, pretty enjoyable butterfly leg. It's taking her to the front, although how long she can hold on to that for is under question because Ella Bainbridge is coming right back at her. She'll hold on for this one. Bainbridge in second, 0.38 behind, but a lot of momentum coming from her. Top of the picture, 2 up, is Isabel Schimmels of Kingston on Hull in 3rd place. We'll start to join up a little bit now on the backstroke, and then the next 3 are all pretty much in a line. Faye McDonough of Stockton leads from the nurse challenger Ella Bainbridge. Doncaster Darts up there in 5. 2 up from her, Isabel Schimmels of Kingston on Hull. So 2 seconds separate the top 3. Inside of Faye McDonough backing off here on the backstroke. Trying to open up as big a lead as she can before they get to the all-telling breaststroke, which comes next. McDonough still with a sizable lead, although again Ella Bainbridge is to make a move. So too now it's Abigail Miles. Second half of her race is definitely her strongest. So from here on in, Abigail Miles will be something to watch out for, especially on the breaststroke. Breaststroke is very, very strong indeed, and probably Madonna needs a bigger lead than that to hold on for the rest of the race. Starting to eat into that lead. Ella Bainbridge knocks the darts much closer than she has been for a while. Abigail Miles, great turn, and that's what's going to help her. It's those turns, short course, just gives her an extra metre or 2. She comes alongside the long-time leader, who will now relinquish it to Ella Bainbridge. Bainbridge will hit the wall first. Miles, second place. McDonough now a couple of seconds back. The breaststroke really does change things a lot. Abigail Miles will fancy her chances here of getting in front and seeing it home on the front crawl. That's what she's doing right now. Lead will change hands 3 times over the last few 50s. Abigail Miles just ahead. Her turns really do help. Give her maybe an extra metre sometimes, maybe a bit more. Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield, with Ella Bainbridge. We'll now go to the last 100 virtually together. Bainbridge with a second advantage over Miles. Didn't look like that to me. They went into the wall virtually together, but Miles certainly comes down in front. Last 100 on the front crawl should belong to her. It'll be quite an achievement if Ella Bainbridge can hold her back here, but I think Abigail Miles probably, as the fastest on paper, will get the nod. Bainbridge is digging in though, looking to improve on that 4:55 that she's entered in on. And nodding. Abigail Miles get away. Miles does lead in that turn. Bainbridge in second place. Looking up about, well, I was about to say half a body length advantage. Not a huge one though. Bainbridge is digging in. Third place, our long-time leader, Faye McDonough. Miles not having it all her own way here. Now the Bainbridge just making life a little less comfortable for the Sheffield swimmer, who will get the touch. Slides in a bit with a 4:57.17 for Abigail Miles. She can and probably will later on today go considerably quicker than that, but that's what she needs to do in the morning. Fastest time so far, with Emma Bainbridge in second place. There to Chantal War, sneaking just ahead of Faye McDonough on the touch. Now on to the men's 100 butterfly. First of 9 heats. Just checking across the pool, see if we have somebody missing. We do. So the ones that are here: Lucas Walton, City of Bradford; Joshua Warner-West, Saltburn; Liam McGreedy of Scunthorpe; William Hannant of North Tyneside; Elliot Watkins of City of Leeds; and Matthew Nicholson of Chapeltown are the swimmers involved in this one. All with entry times in the 1:06 vicinity, 1:07 in a couple of cases, but all of them looking to take huge chunks off the entry times that they have. And in particular, lane 1, Lucas Walton's had a very good first 50. Let's see if he can maintain it over the remainder of this 100 butterfly. 25 to go for him now. The threat coming a couple of lanes up from Liam McGreedy and William Hannant. Hannant in particular looks very strong in lane number 4. Just about holding on, Lucas Walton. Can he hold on to the end? Because Hannant is coming back at a rapid rate of knots. Hannant for me, it is Hannant, 1:06.10 for our winner. That's it by a fair old margin. And also improves on his best previous time of 1:06.86. Heat number 2. No 7. But everybody else in place. Roman Verreckel of North Tyneside, Kenneth Juan of City of Sunderland, Joseph Burnell, City of Leeds, Oscar Blanchard of Cleethorpes, Owen Mason of Rotherham Metro, Angus Twigger of City of Bradford, Robert Hunt, Durham City, teammate Jonathan Stones is the one who's dropped out, Nathaniel Horner of Beverley Barracuda, and Matthew Lowry of Newcastle. First 50 is done. Lowry leads from Burnell and Juan. Just over a quarter of a second separates 1, 2 and 3. All entered in on 1:06. Every single swimmer is a 1:06 swimmer here from their entry times. 1:06.1 the quickest, 1:06.80 the slowest. So there shouldn't be a great deal between any of them, but those sometimes converted long course times don't always give us the right impression. Kenneth Juan is looking like the man who might well go and steal this in lane number 1. And yes, he gets there, 1:05.37. So first sub-66 swim in the short course version of the 100 butterfly. All set of swimmers for heat number 3. And all of them have 105 entry times. Jack Clifford just the fastest on paper, 105.33. But there's not a lot between any of them, to be absolutely honest. Lane 6, Louis Dove, City of Bradford. Enjoyed his weekend, I think, in Sheffield. He's been set some good new personal bests. Really reaching in to slap that pad he was doing with his two hands there on the butterfly. Oh, a real brilliant second 50 here from lane 1. David Barnett of Durham City has suddenly come flying through to take over the front of the race. Often happens where lane 0 is almost obscured to us, but he's going to take this, and he's going to take it fairly comfortably, I think, as well. Really good time for our winner, David Barnett, down there in lane 0, 104.27. That will be somewhere in the region of a 1.5 second PB short course for the 17-year-old who got his timing absolutely right for the second half of that race. Heat number 4 of the 100 butterfly for men, and yeah, they're all there. All the swimmers have turned up for this one. Isaac Ripley, marginally and only marginally quicker than everybody else on paper, but surrounding him are swimmers who got very comparable times, including Thea Sunda of Gateshead and Wickham, who's looking strong. So up in 8 is Arthur Llewellyn of Borough of Stockton. Llewellyn will get the touch just ahead of Sunbar and Iqbal. Ripley up there too. This is a very competitive 100 flyers, about 4 of them in contention, though strongest by far at the moment is Arthur Llewellyn of Borough of Stockton. Comes off that wall quite a way clear of everybody else, but still a bit of time potentially for Elijah Stannard maybe to catch him. Maybe for Isaac Ripley to catch him. No, I think everybody's going to catch lane 8. Arthur Llewellyn stops the clock at 101.96. Big new PB. Bypasses the 103s and 102s, goes straight to 101.96. Quickest time by quite some way. We're not even to the cyclically seeded heats yet. 101.96 will take some beating over the next couple of races, to be honest. Heat number 5. Yeah, actually that was 101.96. All these swimmers have done 103s. Callum Hall, Richmond Dale. Oldest of the swimmers was 2 20-year-olds, actually, Daniel Wood and he, in lanes 0 and 4. Lane 4, he's a strong swimmer, is Callum Hall, 20-year-old, and not holding back at all. A chance that he's going to get into the top 10 for later on today. It really has to happen now for swimmers like him. It's quite a choppy butterfly stroke, but again, with the pace and the power that he's got, it works very effectively for him, and he'll take this one. Comes in, we'll wait for the clock to tell us. 102.73 is the winning time, so as predicted, not as quick as the previous one was. 102 is still a improvement, about 0.4 of a second improvement for Callum Hall. We'll go to Finley Allman on the board. 2:55. Alex Williams in 3rd place. Heat number 6 of the 100 butterfly for men. An absolutely flying start from Max Upton of Billingham on the far side, not hanging around at all. The And he's got a 1:03.07 entry time. Is definitely going for broke nice and early here, and they're starting to respond in kind in some of the other lanes now. James Newell, for example, in 4, going right back into the picture, but I think it's still going to be Max Upton. It is 27.91. That's a really rapid first 50. Now, has he gone for broke too early, or does he believe he can hold on to this if he can? And 1:03.07 is going to be obliterated. It's an incredible swim by Max Upton. He can bring this back over 25 now. He's going to be looking at a sizable improvement. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. If they are, it's going to come from the likes of James Newell, but I think he's going to do this. Max Upton, what a swim. What a terrific swim that is. 1:00.14. Well, if I had a hat, I'd tip it to you, mate, because that was a terrific swim. Max Upton, the 16-year-old from Birmingham, just went for it. Now, you have to see swimmers do that. Some people think it's naive, and some people think, oh, they're going to tie up and it's all going to go to pot at the end. But no, not for him. He went out with the intent, with an express purpose of doing a really quick time by his standards in the morning. And 1:00.14 represents a 3-second PB for Max Upton. For me, one of the swims of the weekend, that. Just the way that he grabbed the race by the scruff of the neck and would not let it go at any point. Heat 7, 100 butterfly for men. We're into the sub-minuters now, including Ned Sharp, who's done a 54.6. So he is quite a bit clear of everybody else time-wise. That should tell as the race starts to unfold. But he's got some sort of, well, certainly some opposition here from Joseph Sadio, 24-year-old from Leeds, who will lead at the halfway stage. Ned Sharp is in 2nd place, Aidan Brown 3rd, and Shelton 4th, but we always know when we see these lead swimmers in there, they are speed merchants. They don't hang around, they're here for a reason, they're here for a purpose, they're here to do something fairly special. 55.68 is Joseph Sadio's best time, and he'll be on course to better that here. Yes, he does. I was about to correct myself, but no, just outside, big pardon, the 55.68. It was a 55.80, so it's very close to it. But Ned Sharp unable to quite come up with the goods in the heats. So he wasn't able to replicate that 54.6 that he's done in the past. Two more heats of this to come. The speedier swimmers are in now. Cole Hewitt amongst them from City of Sheffield. 53.9 is his best. Ruben Visser had a great day yesterday. I know that the Visser family were very excited at the things that Ruben did yesterday. PBs all over the place. Well, we're looking to do something along those lines today if he possibly can. He's got pressure on his teammate Cole Hewitt though. 53.9 is the best time that Cole has. Short course. Ruben with a 55.53 will come strong over the second half of the race, surely. Jason Robson to York City in the 3rd place at the moment. But Cole Hewitt has got about a second and a half over everybody else in the field. It's kind of show that way. The Ruben Visser is with that fantastic turn. And that's something I mentioned yesterday, just how good his turns were. And his turns are really helping him right back into this. Not going to win it. His teammates should get there first and will do. 56.07. For Cole Hewitt, and 2nd place to Ruben Visser with 56.49. Both have been quicker, and if they get a chance later on today, and they should do in the final, will go quicker still, I'm sure. Jason Robson in 3rd, 57.52. The speediest of them all. About to enter the pool, Cameron Brooks-Clark, another City of Sheffield swimmer. 51.87. He should be by far the class act in this field. He is over 3 seconds quicker than everybody else. Short course, but again, Thomas Carswell, who's having a terrific weekend, has not read the script. Carswell is going for this. It would be quite a scalp and quite a feather in his cap if he were to beat Cameron Brooks-Clark. And you know what? He's on course to do that right now. Got a lead over both Hewitt and Brooks-Clark of getting on for 3/4 of a second to a minute. Now, Brooks Clark is very strong as the race progresses and gets longer, but I think Thomas Carswell may have set down his stall so well that Cameron Brooks Clark, even with that brilliant turn, is not going to catch him, surely. Carswell has looked brilliant this weekend, looking incredibly strong here, and this will be a bit of an upset. Thomas Carswell, 55.88. He'll come back later today as the fastest qualifier, second fastest qualifier actually, after Joseph Sadio. And we will also see Cameron Brooks Clark, Ruben Visser, Cole Hewitt all back in the final later today. But we have a swim off to come in the 50 breaststroke. It will be a little way off yet. It's going to come after event 311. Go through the sheets of paper, tell you when that is. So that will be after we've had the 400 freestyle for women. And just a reminder to you, there is another pool in operation, which is featuring the age group swimmers. And the 200 breaststroke, heat number 6, just underway. And that one, that's on our accompanying stream here from Ponds Forge. Just putting the backstroke wedges in for the first of the 100 backstroke heat. 6 of them there will be. 3 will go in the first one, provided they're all there, and they're not, so we only got 2. Izzy Fear and Katie Turner of Rotherham Metro are the participants in the opening 100 backstroke. Both of them in on a 1:11. We are expecting, certainly in this one and probably the first few heats, some distinct improvements on times. Closest to us, it is Izzy Fear of Durham. 2 up, Rotherham Metro's Katie Turner. Halfway stage, see how they're looking in terms of getting down to maybe a 1:10 or lower. 34.33 is the split time for Izzy Fear, who has had this one pretty much under control. Katie Turner is trying to make a move, but she's too far back to really have any impact at this stage, you would think. Although she may just have heard me or got the vibes, because she is coming through, but Izzy Fear, I believe, has probably done enough over the first 75 not to have to worry too much about the fast finishing Katie Turner. And it's I'll tell you in a moment, 1:11.53 for our winner, so not quite as quick as she has been, a little bit outside. So for Katie Turner. No 4, but everybody else in place for heat number 2, including 40-year-old Emma Wills, who is, so I might have mentioned to you, I think I did yesterday, is doing a lot of master swimming these days, but loves to mix it with the younger element of British swimming, and certainly Swim England. So she's right there in the thick of things in lane number 6. It looks like being a fairly tight affair. She might actually be leading here. Emma Wills, she is. 33.9 at the halfway stage. Be that surprised, because this is one of her best events, the 100 backstroke. And she is showing the youngsters how to do it. Now, could she do a personal best? Her entry time, which may be a PB or may not, because obviously she's got a lot of years behind her, is 1:10.50. It'd be great to see her go 1:09, 1:08. She's not going to get beaten here, I don't think, though Louisa Ibbison is trying to put some pressure on her, but 1:09.64 is an improvement on her entry time. So I'm not sure whether that is PB or not, but she may have gone quicker over previous years. But in terms of recent swims, this is good as she's done for a while. So 9.64 for our winner, Emma Wills, 40-year-old leading in a 14-year-old. E3, all dotted around the 109, apart from 108, which belongs to Charlotte Deniz of York City, but very even start here, right across the lanes, right through from 0 up to lane 9. This will be a pretty tight affair by the looks of things. Lane 3, Sophie Much, Newcastle, looking good. Charlotte Deniz, York City starting to come through, and lane 5, Sienna Robinson. 0.18 between the three of them. Off the wall very strongly there did Sophie Much and Newcastle. Those short course turns really are so indicative of the way the race could eventually pan out. And Sophie Much has got all the component parts just about right now. 2 up from the top. Rebecca Wren, Tyndale, is going through very, very quickly indeed. I don't think she's quite good enough to overhaul Sophie Much, but she's going to be pretty close to it. Sophie Much from Charlotte Deniz, and the very rapidly finishing Rebecca Wren in third place. 108.34 for our winner. Backstroke for women, heat number 4. Izzy May Reeves had a busy weekend. Here she is for more action in this one, with the likes of Annabelle Wilkinson. Most of these names are mentioned on numerous occasions, having several different events, sometimes different strokes for the events too. Karen Cambrooks had a very enterprising first 25. Also at the front of the field, but for how long? Annabelle Wilkinson getting into her stroke in 4. Likewise, Annabelle Wilkinson's possible nemesis here, Izzy May Reeves, in 4. Wilkinson leads, though, at this stage. 3 of them in the centre lanes. Barely separated by anything. 3, 4 and 5. Annabelle Wilkinson, Izzy May Reeves, Madison Turner, 1, 2, 3 as they go over. And 6 is Grace Conroy of City of Sheffield, is trying to join that pack. 3 still at the front. 14-year-old from City of Sheffield, Annabelle Wilkinson, with a 1:04.49 to her name prior to today, and that's just a little bit slower. Izzy May Reeves in second place, and third is Grace Conroy. Sorry, it's Sofia Bazaraba, 1:07.30. I'm just going to have to change around now. Well, Grace Conroy was, I think, a correct call. It was 1:05.68. 104.13 for our winner. Just waiting for that to be confirmed. Hasn't been confirmed yet. All the swimmers given time, so everything okay. That one, no DQs. Need 5 of 6. Molly Garrett in on this one. Only swimmer has gone sub 103, short course. So she should be the favourite. There's a couple either side who've been close to that. Abigail Miles in 5. Erin Donnelly of Borough Stockton, but it's a very positive and, dare I say, aggressive start from Molly Garrett. Looking around her, saying, I'm going to dominate this one. Catch me if you can at this stage. No, he's particularly close. Alex McGill, Gason Wickham's going all right. A couple of lanes up from the York City swimmer. Halfway stage. 29.91 for Molly Garrett. And she is pulling away. There's no doubt about she is the class act in this field. We're not going to get that close to her. She's already about a body length and a half clear of everybody else. The only person who might potentially put a bit of pressure on is Abigail Miles in 5. But so she's got this well and truly sorted. Nice rhythmical approach and a good finish right on the stroke. In fact, it was almost like on a 3/4 stroke there for Molly. She wasn't going to hold back and go in on a half stroke, and she crashed into the board with that one. But 102.7 will be a new PB short course. 0.2 of a second better than she's been before. She's just inspecting the wrist to make sure it's okay. She really went into that touchpad with quite a lot of force on a full stroke, which was kind of like a 2/3 stroke in a way. And finally, heat number 6 for the 100 backstrokes, was the final heat anyway of this, before we move on to the 50 backstroke for men. And Amelia Robertson will have been aware of what Molly Garrett did. She's gone a little bit quicker than Molly in the past, but is not dominating this the way that Molly did the previous one. She's in 4. She's likely to win it, although there's pressure from Imogen Volland of Harrogate. And she's not being allowed to go by the rest of them so far. She'll have the lead at 50. I think Robertson was very close. No, actually, Imogen Volland's got there just ahead of Robertson. Third place, Bethany Jordan, and then Ella Stabler. And if anything, this could be a bit of an upset here. Imogen Volland, 103.37. Looks to be improving upon that. Amelia Robertson will surely have a response over the last 25. Here she comes. So too Ella Stabler. But I think Imogen Volland is going to hold on, and she is, for the win. Just wait for that to correct. Imogen Volland's 104.19 for our winner. So Molly Garrett considerably quicker than that in the previous heat. On to the first of 8 heats of the 50 metres backstroke for men. 14, 15 and 17-year-olds involved in this one. Joseph Weldon of Northallerton Zebedee Hayes of Skipton, Jonathan Stones of Durham City, Benjamin Cross of City of Sheffield, Daniel Bower of Darlington, who will be the Darlington swimmers going to take this in the green cap on the far side unless Benjamin Cross can get close to him, and he can't. 31.25 for our winner. Half a second personal best short course for Daniel Bower of Darlington. Heat 2, looks how we have everybody we're expecting to see. So this occasion I'll just give you the clubs involved: Kippax, Selby, Borough of Kirklees, Durham City, Darlington, Stocksbridge, Brickhouse, Gisborough, Billingham and City of Wakefield. Brilliant start by Johnson Back of Darlington, entered on 31. Most of these swimmers 31 or thereabouts in terms of the entry time that we have for them, but Johnson Back is very intent, it would seem, on getting much closer to 30 than 31. He'll be there or thereabouts on the 30 here. 30.35 for our winner. Second place, and that one going to Benjamin Bottomley, and Daniel Recroft in third place. 30.35 means 3/4 of a second PB. Very nearly for Johnson Back. Heat number 3. South Huntlet, Stocksbridge, Cleethorpes, City of Wakefield, Darlington, South Axholme, Northampton, Alnwick Dolphins, Borough of Kirklees, Chester Street. Will provide the swimmers for this one. Don't have a 1 actually, so one has been scratched. The rest are in place. Lily Harvey Matthias, one of the 30 high swimmers here, which we have quite a clutch. 25 off to a terrific start. Thomas Crow of South Axholme, 3.74, and also down in 2, Jude Suddaby of Cleethorpes turned in the lead, and will he be bettered? Well, he might be by 4 or 5. Harvey Matthias or Thomas Crow, or will he? Maybe he'll go all the way, Jude Suddaby. He does, 30.21. Half a second PB, just over, for Jude Suddaby, who was at the front of the field at 25 and stayed there right to the end. All 10 swimmers in for heat number 4. Rowan Sheriff marginally quicker on paper than anybody else, but it is really marginal. We're talking about hundredths of seconds here, so it may not be indicative of what we see over the next 30 seconds or so. Sheriff and Cameron McKinnon going to the wall pretty much together. Good underwater work by both lanes 4 and 5. Sheriff wants this, maybe not quite as much as Bergman wants it. Bergman, to me, looks like he's got all the momentum in lane 5 and gets it. 29.53, first time under 30 seconds for the Sheffield City swimmer. Heat 5. One away from the first of the cyclically seeded heats. Two have been sub 30 in this field. They are James Hayes of Tynemouth and Ben Towser of Pocklington. Now going to drag a couple of others maybe below the 30 line. One person who's intent on getting inside his 29.66 is James Hayes of Tynemouth. Excellent first 25, decent turn as well. Makes sure that he's ahead of the rest of the pack. Ben Towser's trying to come back at him from Pocklington. Far side of the ball, Finney Hartworth of Morpeth going well. So too Chase Darby of Middlesbrough, but the winner will be James Hayes. 29.06 for our winner. Another half a second or so knocked off his best. Ben Towser 29.54. That's a new PB as well. Finney Howe 30.05 is Finney Hartworth rather. Third place will also take 4/100ths of a second off his best. Okay, we'll leave the 29s behind. Move down potentially into the 26s here for heat number 6. Harry Nicholson, 26.89, best for him. 15-year-old from Chester Street. William Ellis with 27.17. And Owen Robson at 27.76. So much down to the starts and the turns. And of course, the underwater work. All those elements so imperative you get them right. Short course wise, they make such a difference to the outcome. 4, Harry Nicholson, Chester Street. 5, William Ellis of Borough Stockton. They're the two are going to go to the wall together, and Ellis gets it, 26.95. First time under 27 short course for William Ellis. Second, Harry Nicholson with a 27.10. And third place going to Jamie Hewitt with a 27.49. Heat number 7. Thomas Carswell back again. Alfie Scott back again. Ethan Camsey back again. Multiple swims for all three of those this weekend. Carswell, a terrific couple of days. We're going to be getting maybe a tad inside that 26.59, which is entry time for the 19-year-old. Incredibly strong. So numerous events this weekend. Doesn't seem to have had its toll on him yet. So Carswell flanked either side by Ethan Camsey and Alfie Scott. But Carswell's impressing once again. Carswell should take this. I think he's got it. We'll just wait for the board to confirm. It says 4th on the board as it is now, but I think he's first. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that was correct this time round. Ethan Camsey might have got it 27.11. They three of them went into the wall pretty much at the same time. The Carswell has been promoted up to second. So there was 1/100th of a second between Ethan Camsey in first and Thomas Carswell in second. In fact, there was 2 100ths between 1, 2 and 3. That's how tight it was. Ethan Camsey 27.11, Carswell 27.12 and Alfie Scott 27.13. Heat number 5, sorry, heat number 8, the final heat of the 50 backstroke for men. Another of the speed merchants from East Leeds in here. Let's see what Sam Lorman can do. 25.9, he will not be hanging around, doesn't have to worry about it. 50 metres and just go for broke it. Doesn't worry about the lactate that might build up or the stuff that caresses and careers through your body after things like this. But look at this, he's hardly reached the surface. He's been underwater for the majority of this swim, and that's worked very effectively for him. And this will be quick. very quick, 25.88. That's massively quick compared to the other swims that we have seen this morning. 25.9 was his previous best. 25.88 is where he finds himself today. Barely saw him. Most of that was underwater. Only got a glimpse of him during the course of the race, and that's how effective his underwater work was for that 25.88 for Sam Longman. $200 butterfly for women. Up next, Abigail Heald of City of Leeds, Grace Keedy of Derwentide, and Gracie Shepherd of City of Sheffield, all in the first heat of this, which we have in total 5 200 butterfly heats to bring you. Gracie Shepherd will be trying to surf the wave, literally and metaphorically, of City of Sheffield's great weekend so far. So many victories yesterday, so many good personal bests yesterday as well. Gracie Shepherd leading from Grace Keedy. Abigail Heald in third place. Next time they turn, it will be 100 meters in this 200 butterfly. Gracie Shepherd still holding on the 14-year-old, 15-year-old in the center of the field from Derwentide. Grace Keedy, Abigail Heald, City of Leeds, closest to us. So at the halfway stage, 0.29 separating Shepherd from Keedy. Well, this is turning into be quite a battle between these three. One who's going to yield first. Abigail Heald, second half of the race is proving to be beneficial for her. Grace Keedy right in the center of that sandwich, with Gracie Shepherd on the far side. Abigail Heald, though, going to the fore. 2:36 best time. 2:36.83 is her best time. Another 50 to go before she can conclude opening heat of the 200 butterfly. And she is starting to pull away, and pull away quite prodigiously now. Another two backing away for second place, but I think our winner, our leader, is going to be as certain as you can get here for Abigail Heald of Leeds. 25 to go. Now, how far inside 2:36 can she get? Quite some way, it looks to me. 2:30 just coming up on the board. She can get 2:34, 2:35 probably. She'll be relatively happy with that. Oh, it's just stepped down a little bit. Let's have a look and see what the scoreboard says when it corrects itself. Hasn't given us the time for Grace Keedy yet. 2:40, 2:36 for the winner, 2:36.17 for Abigail Heald. So yeah, she gets inside the best time prior to today, but not by a great deal. 3/4 of a second or thereabouts between them. Heat number 2. Not everybody is involved in this one that we expected to be. So we'll lose one, but all the others remain. Lane 4. Anna Brown and Gateshead and Wickham. 2:32.24. Her best time. The other swimmers in name order: Annabelle Cooper of Weir Valley, Jessica Bula of North Tyneside, Amy Kitching of Kingston upon Hull, Neve Abbey of Tynemouth, Polly Reid of Newcastle, Catherine Keogh of Loftus Dolphins. There is the swimmer in lane 4 from Gateshead and Wickham, Anna Brown leading the way. Still quite a way to go in the 200 butterfly yet, so she'll want to try and open up as much of a lead as she can do. There's plenty of others with strong finishes in the field, including potentially Annabelle Cooper, closest to us from Weir Valley, just coming through in lane number 1. But Sweep you can. Seemed to be the mantra for Hannah Brown. 1:11.26 at the halfway stage. So half the job done. But Annabelle Cooper and Jessica Boulin will both think that they've got a chance of maybe overhauling her in the second half of the race. They're just edging a little bit closer. Still a decent lead, but got quite a bit of the race still to go. And this is where things do start to hurt. Butterfly-wise, 100, not a cinch by any means, but that second 100 is where the hips don't work maybe quite as efficiently as they like to. And 50 to go, so she's definitely broken the back of it now and still has that lead. But after doing all the hard work, what she won't want to see happen here is Jessica Boulin to overhaul her. I think she'll probably be okay now. I think she's still got a sufficient lead that that shouldn't be a concern for Hannah Brown. Next thing that she'll be concentrating on when she finishes is how close she's got to her best short course time, which you'll be aware of, 2:32.24. Certainly got this one, had it won for the majority of the 200 fly. 2:32 is going to go. 2:31's more likely. 2:30.43 is where it stops. 2:30.43 for our winner. Second place to Niamh Abbey. Third to Jessica Boulin. On to heat number 3. So we love Amy Corcoran this weekend, and she's back for more in lane number 4 for Kingston upon Hull. Hannah Trousdale likewise. Hannah Newnham and Lucy Ellis, all with numerous amounts of swims. Well, one of them decided not to do it, and that's Hannah Trousdale. She's not opting to do this one, which leaves the field maybe a bit clearer for Amy Corcoran. At 50 will have a decent lead over Callie Ramshaw. Hannah Newnham of Doncaster Darts, 2 Doncaster Darts swimmers side by side. Callie Ramshaw in 2, Hannah Newnham in 3. Also lacking Madison Johnson, she's not with us either, so 5 and 6 not competing. 4 very much is though. Amy Corcoran, 17-year-old from Kingston upon Hull, with a 2:16.95 as her best short course time. Halfway stage, the 200 fly for her. Hannah Newnham in 2nd place, Callie Ramshaw 3rd. 4th is Rosie Smith. Second half of the race, this is where potentially Hannah Newnham might be at a pounce. Maybe she's just holding back a little bit, not quite ready for the charge. Well, it's not going to happen now. Probably not going to happen at all, because Amy Corcoran's realizing the threat and has suddenly up the ante a little bit with 50 to go. It'll be hard to catch her now, Amy Corcoran. It's a decent lead she's got over Hannah Newnham and Callie Ramshaw, the 2 Doncaster Darts swimmers. Don't see them getting back alongside her. 25 metres to go, and it's been a very gutsy swim from Amy Corcoran, amongst many she's had this weekend. But that lead, if anything, is extending. 2:16 is her best time. She's not going to be inside that. She is going to be slower than she has been, but it's the win that matters. 2:20.21. Might be a little bit disappointed with that time. But is it going to be good enough to get her into the final later today? There's a chance. Maybe an outside chance. A lot quicker swimmers still to come, so she'd been on her best. That would have given her a really good chance. 2:20 probably won't quite cut it. 2 more to come. She'll be hoping, Amy Corcoran, that might just be enough, but she's looking through the list of swimmers to come. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, she might. 220 might just be enough. All depends whether we get a few more PBs here. Just a delay before we start the penultimate heat of the 200 fly. The swimmers to come out of the pool now. Here we go with Heat 4. Karis Neal of Rotherham Metro. Naomi Sheevels, there's your full lineup. Up from Rotherham Metro in lanes 0 and 1. Chestnut Street, City of Sheffield, Grimsby, Borough Stockton, City of Leeds, Richmond Dale, York City, and Elizabeth Russell from City of Leeds in the outside lane. 2:14.88, best time in the field. Holly Williams has it. 21-year-old from Grimsby. She should be on paper about 3 seconds, maybe quicker than the rest. But she's got a battle on her hands right now with Melody Jones of Borough Stockton. And Williams just leads from Jones at that first time. Annabelle Wilkinson in 3rd place from City of Sheffield, the 14-year-old. She's had multiple swims already this weekend, and in fact multiple swims this morning as well. 4 and 5 pretty much locked together. Holly Williams of Grimsby, 21-year-old, 2:14.88, her best entry time. Melody Jones, Borough Stockton, 2:17.7. So there's 3 seconds separating them in that, but nowhere near that in the pool at the moment, the halfway stage. Negligible amount between 1 and 2. Holly Williams, what they're showing on your caption, but is leading or was leading. Melody Jones on the verge of perhaps overtaking it on that turn. They are absolutely locked together, like a piece of elastic across the two of them, keeping them in place. Big gap to 3rd, another gap to 4th. It's a very spread out race this, but 1 and 2 are very tight together. Holly Williams will know what she has to do for the final. She doesn't have to really go flat out, but difficult with the butterfly, because if you hold up too much on your stroke, then it becomes a little bit inconsistent, a little bit difficult to operate if you're starting to tinker with your stroke to go a bit slower. But whatever she does from here on in will be sufficient, provided she's not been DQ'd. Holly Williams, 2:14 of best. She'll be outside that, but not a million miles outside it. 2:17.6 is absolutely fine for our winner. 2:17.6, 2:19.7 for Melody Jones, and Annabelle Wilkinson with a 2:22. So yeah, I think we can safely say Amy Corcoran will be back for the final later today, even though she was a bit slower than she would have liked. Everybody who we expect to see for Heat 5 is there, including Isabel Grant of City of Sheffield. Now 2:08.22 is her short course entry time, which in this field is 9 seconds quicker than anybody else. So we're making a measure how well she is looking and how well everybody else is looking by how far ahead she is. Let's say at 50. Well, she's had the best start as we kind of anticipated. She's in the lead as we anticipated. Probably coming off this wall, she'll have about a body length advantage over the rest. Well, not quite. Not quite. 1 lane up from her, making sure she works hard this morning. Faye Rogers, Borough Stockton, but again, the advantage of being in the final heat is you know precisely time-wise what you need to achieve. Rogers 30.60 at the turn. Isabel Grant, 2nd place, 30.65. But Grant it is now who's going to dominate this race, you would think, all the way through to its conclusion. The 2:08.22 will not be in her sights this morning. That's not on the register at all, but Faye Rogers will be looking to get inside 2:17 if she can. That's more realistic. Halfway stage, Isabel Grant leads by 1.66 from Faye Rogers, and nobody else is anywhere near the picture of the stage. So those two, the rest, really impressive the way she's just going through the gears here. Isabel Grant doesn't need to overexert. Times well outside what she's capable of doing will be sufficient for tonight. And even so, she's still got a massive advantage. Not quite the 9 seconds that she is on paper, but still big enough. 3.14 for her only real adversary here. That's Faye Rogers. It's just saying 1:55 as she turns, so maybe a 2:12, something like that, would be okay for the morning. Coming in now with probably about 2:14 by the time she gets there. 2:13.64, Isabel Grant. But comfortable that was. Fastest time of the morning by 4 seconds. Faye Rogers 2:18 in second, Macy Yoxall in third. $200 IM for men. And we will have a gigantic 9 heat to this. A lot of people wanting to be involved in the 200 IM, with the exception of one swimmer who's decided to pull out, but Jack Ashurst of Tynemouth most certainly is not. To a flyer for him, 29.09 on the 50 butterfly. Onto the back he goes, looking for any potential threat to him at this stage. Thomas Schofield of York City in second place, down in lane 2. But the lead is quite substantial on the backstroke at the moment for our leader, Jack Ashurst. 2:27.15, best time for the 15-year-old, who's not under any real pressure yet. Backstroke turns into breast. How big's the lead? 2.43. Nearest challenger, Noah Ragg of Borough of Barnsley. They may start to come back into a little bit on the breaststroke leg here. Noah Ragg still holding on to second. Third place is Thomas Schofield, and then Owen Gartside down in 1. Our leader still with a fair amount of clear water between him and the rest. Jack Ashurst, 2:27 surely is going to go by quite some way here. He turns on the breast to front crawl turn at 1:51.01. Schofield second. Third is Owen Gartside. Then it is Noah Ragg. Chase Darby, a top 5. Sprint to the finish for our long-time leader. Leader all the way through, every single turn he's been in front. And continue that way right through to the conclusion of this race. So Jack Ashurst, 2:27. That's going to be probably about a 2:24 here for our winner. 2:24.68 for Ashurst. So that's somewhere in the region of a 2.5 second PB short course for him. Second place, Thomas Schofield. Noah Ragg in third, and fourth, Elliot Mason. Schofield 2:26.4 means that he's inside his previous best as well. Men's 200 meters individual medley, heat number 2. Daniel Bailey of Doncaster Darts, Nathaniel Horner of Beverley Barracuda, Matthew Slater of Newcastle, George Knowles, City of Leeds, Thomas Mann, North Tyneside, Robert Bell, Grimsby, Christian Ryan, Tynedale, Adam Tilling of Gisborough, and Niall Michael of Selby. That's your lineup. There's a missing swimmer in lane 8. Everybody else, though, in place. First 50 completed, and it is Nathaniel Horner in lane number 2. Sorry, in lane number 1, who was leading at that stage, but now is not. Matthew Slater of Newcastle has taken over on the backstroke and really starting to power his way away. It was very tight between 2 or 3 of them at the 50 stage, but as they get halfway into the race, Matthew Slater's backstroke has taken him into a really advanced position. That's quite a big lead too, 2.06 going into the breaststroke. Let's see how strong the breast is compared to everybody else in the field. Well, he's maintaining that lead, it's not diminishing. Daniel Horner is back alongside him, but he's a good 5 or 6 meters, probably a bit more behind now. Matthew Slater, 15 years of age, 2:26.73, entered in on. Well, this kind of pace keeps this going. 2:26.73 will be consigned to history. Another 50 to go, and he is leading this by an absolute streak. 4 seconds clear of his nearest challenger, if you can call him that, Christian Ryan of Tynedale. Well, this is a very impressive display by the Newcastle swimmer. I don't want to see him ease off. I want to see him try and really obliterate that 2:26. I think he's going to do that. 2:26.85 for Horner, and 2:26.73 for Slater. 2:26, forget that. Forget 2:26. Make that 2:21.41. 2:21.41. That's a 5-second personal best short course for Matthew Slater. Second place to Christian Ryan. Third to Nathaniel Horner for George Knowles. No lane 4 for this one, but all the other swimmers on the list are involved. In fact, no, they're not. There's one other missing swimmer in lane 1. Joseph Burnell, City of Leeds. Bobby Thompson, Borough of Stockton. Josh Denham, City of Sunderland. Benjamin Hughes, Grimsby. Sam Milburn of Billingham. Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby. Joshua Royal of Durham City, and Harrison Lee of City of Wakefield. Sam Milburn, who was leading at the 50, but that could potentially change. Milburn just about holding on here on the backstroke leg. The threat is coming from lane 3 from Josh Denham, 14-year-old from Sunderland. But still, the Billingham swimmer has the advantage, a little bit of one anyway, over the rest of the field. Right alongside him, he'll keep a watchful eye on lane 7, Benjamin Wilkinson of Whitby, who is up there in 3rd place. Now the breaststroke leg, the all-telling, all-knowing, all-seeing breaststroke leg, with Josh Denham stroking his way through to come past Sam Milburn now. 2:25.37 for the City of Sunderland swimmer. His short course entry time. So it's amazing how quickly the breaststroke transforms an IM. But give him his credit, Sam Milburn is not wilting under the pressure. But if anything, you might be coming back at Josh Denham here. Won't be much between them. 0.18 between 1 and 2. The last leg of the 200 IM, the freestyle. which looks to belong to the 14-year-old from Sunderland, Josh Denham. Also coming strongly at the top of your picture, Joshua Royal in lane number 8. Royal is coming through. He's not going to overhaul our leader, I think our winner eventually, but it's a very strong finish on the freestyle for Joshua Royal, who probably gets second place. Does. Winner 2:20.89 for Josh Denham. So he's taking a massive chunk out of his PB there. Took it down from a 2:25.37 to a 2:20.89. Heat 4, and looking across, we do have all 10 swimmers involved here. Lewis Walligora, York City; Harvey Pennington, Skipton; James McCleary of Darlington; Dominic Mathias of Leeds; Robert Wright of Newcastle; Rowan Kappelman of Richmond Dale; Byron Peel of Stockton; Roman Wallace of Barnsley; Ryan Porter, Kingston Hull, and Daniel Gasser of Richmond Dale. We'll get it right in a moment. That's your 10. And at the quarterway stage, Robert Wright is our leader from Newcastle. And that butterfly worked well, and the backstroke is working, if anything, even better for the 17-year-old. It's nice and deep off the wall, and is keeping all his main challenges at bay quite some way. Rowan Kappelman, second place. Ryan Porter on the far side, competing for second and third right now, but halfway stage, it's a really big lead. 3.67 seconds between our leader and second place. Doesn't seem to be any deficiencies as I am so far. Butterfly worked well. The backstroke did too. There will be probably some stronger breaststrokers in there who might just start to ease back towards him a little bit, but he's got such a big lead, 3.67 seconds, that he may already have done enough damage to make sure there's no way anybody else can get back into winning this race. Whole phalanx of them in a line behind, about 4 or 5 actually, who are in a line, but he's a long way clear of them. 50 to go for our leader, Robert Wright. Lead has extended, I think, 5 seconds now. So what's his best? 2:24.30. Well, he's going to be considerably inside that. That's one thing I can tell you. 2:24 is not going to be the time today. I reckon he could be knocking on the door of a 2:20 here. 2:20 is not out of range. In fact, 2:19 is not out of range either. 2:19.49 for our winner. 2:19.49. It's nearly a full 5-second improvement on his short course best. James McCleary second. He finished some 4 seconds adrift. Harvey Pennington in third. E5 of the 200 IM for men. Absentee in 1, but the others I can name for you: Brandon Cartwright, Borough of Kirklees; Finney Hartworth of Morpeth; James Robinson, City of Leeds; Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle; Alec Dolphins, Gregor Batley; John Luke Hutchinson of City of Bradford; Finley Williams of City of Leeds; James Whiten Sedgwick of North Tyneside; and this was Jack Miller. First 50 done. Liz Eborn from Newcastle, who is looking immensely strong on this one. The butterfly was good, but the backstroke is even better for him, as he gets about a 2 body length lead over the field. So let's see where the challenge may come from here. Might be the top of your picture with James Whiten Sedgwick, maybe. I think he's just maybe edging his way into third place. Second place will be Finley Hartworth at the turn. Batley then Whiten Sedgwick, but Again, they're going to have to do a lot of work, although the breaststroke can change things around pretty quickly to try and catch our leader. Leader after the butterfly, leader after the backstroke, and looking very much like he's going to be the leader after the breaststroke. A bit of a hop there as he came off that breaststroke leg, the breaststroke turn, but still very much in the ascendant is Jonathan Eborn of Newcastle. A few coming back towards him, but he's got such a big margin. It's not as big as it was, but still fairly substantial. Eborn from Hartworth, from Gregor Batley, then John-Luke Hutchinson in fourth, but they are not going to catch the Newcastle swimmer. I think that was fairly evident, has been for quite some time. Jonathan Eborn has this. Has it absolutely nailed. Now 2:22.20 is his entry time, and again, forget that. This is going to be nearer 2:19. 2:18 indeed. 2:18 for our winner. 2:18.65. Good 3.5 seconds taken off the entry time for Jonathan Eborn. Finney Hartworth in second, Gregor Batley third, and fourth place to John-Luke Hutchinson. Ethan Baylind of Tadcaster in 0-1, Curtis Harper of Sheffield, Jacob Elwell of Borough Stockton in 2-3 is Thomas Bergman of Sheffield City, William Ellis of Borough Stockton with his teammate Arthur Llewellyn in 5, Luke Clegg, Borough of Kirklees, Derwent Sides, Morgan Swirls, and Jacob Davison of Chestnut Street in lane number 8. Now, how competitive will this be? Because we've seen a couple of races now where the leader early on has mostly held on to that position right through to its conclusion. Jacob Elwell and Ellis are very, very tight on that turn. Elwell, I think, is just maybe marginally, no, I was going to say marginally moved ahead of William Ellis, but I don't think he has. I think they're going to go over at virtually identical times, and Ellis, if anything, has probably come out of that slightly better. Ellis on the backstroke leg has now started to dominate this one. Nobody getting particularly close to him as he goes into breaststroke mode. 2:26, lead 1.34. Going to take a bit of overhauling that. Jacob Elwell trying to do something about it, as indeed is Arthur Llewellyn. On the far side, Llewellyn is doing something massively about it. He's almost eaten up that advantage on the breaststroke. Look at that, Llewellyn has actually taken the lead. In that space of about 30 metres, Arthur Llewellyn's gone from being a long way back to being in front. What a strong breaststroke that was for Llewellyn. That really has transformed this race. William Ellis looking absolutely in charge until it got to the breaststroke. And suddenly Arthur Llewellyn said, I'll take over from here if you don't mind. And there's nothing he could do to stop him. 2:20.10 is the best time listed for Arthur Llewellyn. Well, that's going to go, isn't it? 2:20? Forget 2:20. More like 2:15 here. 2:14.76. Some big drops in time this morning in this event. Over 5-second PB for Arthur Llewellyn. All of that coming down to that immense breaststroke leg. Heat 7. And all except 9 are involved in this one. Matthew Cairns, Durham City, Blaine Underwood, Doncaster Darts, Cameron Green, City of Leeds, Ben Gilchrist, Durham City, Ruben Visder, City of Sheffield, Barnaby Howarth Osborne, Sheffield City, Oliver Bradley, Cleethorpes, Simon Robson, York City, Borough Barnes' Matthew Salou, and Chapeltown's Connor Robinson. Ruben Visder, the best of the butterflies here. Matthew Cairns in second place. Third is Barnaby Howarth Osborne. Ruben Visder's got a 2:08:30 to his name, short course, which should mean he's about only 3 seconds quicker than everybody else on paper here, but we've seen quite a few people step up. But he's looking very good, looked brilliant in the 400, looking equally at home and has a depth in the 200. Stops the clock at the halfway stage at 60.59. With the breaststroke to come, and nobody's getting particularly close. There is a outside smoker in Matthew Cairns who's holding on to second place, but he's still a long way behind our leader. Very much spread out 200 IM here. Our leader with a long gap back to second. There has been a big gap between second and third. Not so much now because Barnaby Howarth Osborne is making up a little bit of ground on second place. Not making much of an inroad into our leader though. 1:37.13 at the turn for Ruben Visder. Second is Howarth Osborne, then Matthew Cairns, then Matthew Salou. Now what kind of time will Ruben Visder be happy with this morning? So his short course entry time is 2:08:30. So he's not going to quite do that this morning, but I reckon around about 2:10 would suit. Well, having said that, you know what? I might have to eat my words. I will. It's not quite his PB, but 2:08:58. I thought he might just cruise in a bit. He didn't. There was an all-out 200 IM there from Ruben Visder. 2:08:58, so about a quarter of a second slower than his best, but still way ahead of everybody else. You see nearly 6 seconds between him and second place Barnaby Howarth Osborne. I think that's the case. Just waiting for the. Is that the case? Just waiting for it to come round. Matthew Cairns got second actually by 1/100th from Howarth Osborne. 2:14.13 plays 2:14.14. There are still a couple who are quicker than Ruben. Jason Robson of York City up next, the 2:06, and then the final heat, heat 9, which will have Thomas Flower, who will have an exceptional weekend, 2:05.94 his entry time. Into the penultimate heat though, Sam Howell of Newcastle, Oliver Hall of Middlesbrough, Chestnut Street's Thomas English, Toby Mayfield of York City, teammate Jason Robson beside him, Archie Minto of Skipton, Mason Bland, Kingston upon Hull, Thomas Storer, Newcastle, Jude Blackmore for Billingham, and Martin Smith of Borough of Kirklees. So Robson leads at the 50 split on the butterfly, and it's Oliver Hall, second place. But it would be a big surprise if Jason Robson doesn't win this and win it by quite some distance, I'd say. Being tracked all the way at the moment by Archie Minto of Skipton. There's a huge gap to the rest. They're all battling for that third place, and obviously battling at this stage to get times to get them into the top 10 for later on today. Robson just a little bit quicker than was Ruben Visder at this stage, by about 16/100ths. Robson, breaststroke working okay for him. Archie Minto, no, not letting him go too much. That gap has stayed relatively similar for the last 75 metres or so. And a whole phalanx of them coming along behind for third place, but the winner, I think, is that negotiation right now, going to win this relatively comfortably. Gap between Robson and the rest is 3.5 seconds. Now, 2:08.58 was Ruben Visder's time. We could be looking at something just a little bit quicker, potentially, here from Jason Robson. Maybe a 2:07. Or a 2.8 low. Oh, that's going to be very tight. Maybe not. Maybe not. 2.09.03. 2.09.03 for our winner. So that means it's a little bit slow. Halfway he was quicker, but maybe just eased off a little bit. Keep something in reserve for later. It's a busy afternoon for a lot of these swimmers with not a lot of recovery time. 2.09.03. I do not expect Thomas Flower to ease off at all. That's not in his nature. Thomas Flower up next, lane number 4 for Richmond Dale. It's been very impressive this weekend, doing a whole multitude of different events. And back in here again in lane number 4. Nathan Bunkle of York City, Ethan Camsey of Skipton, Benjamin Shipley, Kingston upon Hull. Thomas Flower mentioned in 4 for Richmond Dale. Ned Sharp of Skipton, Ethan Brown, Middlesbrough, Alfie Scott. Very quick turnaround for him from Newcastle. Cohen Stevenson, Doncaster Dart, and Oliver Lill, Borough Stockton. But watch Thomas Flower fly. He is looking like he's in really top form at the moment. Short course may well suit him, but certainly this weekend has suited him so far. Looks very rhythmical, very controlled. Goes to the wall nicely, turns. I was talking with other coaches earlier on about how difficult it is to just check your stroke rate when you go from long course to short course, and of course you'll be back to long course again very soon. So short course season is very, very short. You just have to slightly change your stroke rate, and obviously your turns and your underwater work is very different when you're doing short course. Flower looking very much in control of this. A few lanes up in lane number 7. Here's Alfie Scott in Newcastle. You're most likely to really put some pressure on this breaststroke leg. But no obvious weakness for Thomas Flower. All 4 strokes look to be equally adept. Onto the freestyle. I'll try and make another one of my predictions about time as he comes off the wall, but best time 2:05.94. Don't expect him to do that. I think he's going to just maybe ease his way in. Having said he probably won't ease his way in, doesn't really need to bust a gut now. If he can get inside 2:08.58, then he will be in the main lane for tonight, and he has done that with a 2:08.08. Thomas Flower. How big was the advantage there? 5 seconds exactly over Ned Sharp. Third, Ethan Brown, Alfie Scott in 4th. So, well, interesting. See what happens when it comes down to what looks like being 3 at the front of the field tonight. Ruben Visder, Jason Robson, and Thomas Flower for the final of the 200 IM. That's the last event before the break, but actually we have a swim-off after we've concluded the 5 heats of the 400 freestyle. Then we'll be taking an hour's break or so before we come back. 400 freestyle for women. And all the swimmers listed here are in the pool, so I'll give them to you. Amelia Pinder of Kingston upon Hull. Jasmine Campbell of Newcastle, Aim Hughes of City of Sheffield, who pulled out one of the events earlier, obviously to concentrate on this. Polly Reed, Newcastle in 5, Jessica Wright of Chester Street, and Sally Rutledge of Borough of Kirklees. They are the swimmers, all with, surprisingly, early stages of a heat session here, all with almost identical times, 4:45, which we think they're probably a lot of converted long course times here. In the moment is Amelia Pinder, Kingston upon Hull. Mushy, Jessica Wright gets there just before she does by a couple of tenths of a second. That's no real gap at all between those two. Pinder will just have the advantage over swimmer up in lane 6, but there's nothing really between them at this stage. Scoreboard will separate them out for us. Jessica Wright by just 14/100ths now from Amelia Pinder. Jasmine Campbell in 3rd place, 4th Aileen Hughes. These two virtually identical stroke rates and identical positions in the race. Then, just to make a bit of ground, is Jasmine Campbell of Newcastle, starting to make her way through in lane number 3. Still nothing really to separate Amelia Pinder and Jessica Wright. Jessica Wright still with the advantage, but this time it's 6/100ths. That lead's getting even smaller. And just look at the move now being made by Jasmine Campbell of Newcastle. The 14-year-old is really starting to come through now. She was just working her way in, and there was a bit of a burst over that last 50. She will be right in the mix in the next turn. Leader still Jessica Wright, Amelia Pinder, but Jasmine Campbell is right on top of her now, and all three of them separated by half a second. It might be a lot tighter when they come back this end next time. In fact, a new leader, I think. Jasmine Campbell's just moved into the front of the field, the Newcastle swimmer, with a 4:45.60 entry time. They are all very, very similar, so we'll see how this one pans out. I expect probably the top 3 to go considerably quicker than their entry times. But Campbell now has half a second over Pinder, who has about the same over Wright. And they are racing each other, so hopefully that will lead to a decent improvement in time for both of them. Campbell followed into the wall, out of the wall by Amelia Pinder. Wright seems to have just lost her way a little bit. She steps well behind our leader, but she might still be in position to claim 2nd place. Not quite yet, though. Last 50. So, as she timed this absolutely to perfection, the 14-year-old from Newcastle, 4:45. She'll be not a million miles outside it, or shouldn't be, on this one. You know, I see quite a few get sub 4:45 here. 4:43 maybe on the cards for our winner. 4:42.72, even better. So top 2 going quicker than they have been before. Jessica Wright not quite. Heat 2 of 5 of the 400 freestyle for women. Gracie Shepherd of City of Sheffield in 0. 1 is Millie Fenton of Morpeth. Agatha Scott Harrogate in 2. 3 is Rebecca Wren of Tynedale. Millie Foster Chester Street with teammate Hannah Wright alongside her in 5. 6 is Sienna Ho Shing, City of Leeds. Louise Emma Williams of Middlesbrough 7. 8 is Amelia Robertson of Newcastle, and 9 Megan Burnell of City of Leeds. Very little differential in times here. A couple of 4:39s, a couple of 4:40s, and 4:41, so not a vast difference in their entry times. Lane 4 is obviously the fastest, but she's actually showing she is the fastest at the moment, in the early stages of this race. Long way to go, it's only 100 metres here. 104.19 for Millie Foster. Second, Rebecca Wren. Third, Sienna Ho Shing. Fourth, Hannah Wright. Just starting to develop this second heat of the 400 free. No obvious and clear best swimmer in the field. There's 6 of them, all separated by about, let's say, 5 meters, not much more. Millie Foster just will go over ahead of Wren by 0.3. Then a bit of a gap, but not much of one, to Ho Shing and Wright and Williams and Robertson. So they're going from lane 8 up to 7.6543. All very, very, very tight. Top 10, of course, progress to the final later on today, so they'll all be wanting to get themselves potentially in the mix here. Rebecca Wren might have taken over at the front now. Rebecca Wren is our leader on this turn. Foster half a second back. Ho Shing 1.33, and Hannah Wright in 4th place. But still that phalanx of 6 swimmers, separated by not a great deal. It's still early stages, well, relatively early stage of this race yet. The big change in speed and emphasis still to come over the last 150. 250 hit. And Rebecca Wren, Tyndale, heads in on a 440. So you will want to be in the 430s come the conclusion of this one. She's leading the way. Opposition coming from potentially different places now. Louise Emma Williams up in 7, starting to get a bit of a move on. So too is Sienna Ho Shing. This race is really changing complexion quite quickly now. Apart from our leader, those behind challenging, names are changing. Ho Shing, Williams, Robertson. As I was mentioning early on, Millie Foster not really showing now. They're starting to fall a little bit further back. The only consistent really has been Rebecca Wren. And she will have another 50 to go when they come up this far end. Well, now she's under a bit of pressure because keep an eye on Louise Emma Williams, who is really starting to put a bit of a spurt in here. Still a bit of a gap between 1 and 2, but it's only second now. I just wonder whether all the emphasis should be switching towards Louise Emma Williams, because she's coming through very, very strongly. She's racing Sienna Ho Shing, which is helping both of them. 3 of them go over virtually together here, and that would be a really good win, a great win actually for Rebecca Wren. She can hold on to. I don't think she will. I think Louise Emma Williams has got all the momentum and is going to go on and win this. I will be surprised if Louise Emma Williams doesn't get to the wall first. Let's have a look. I think when they revolve the board, it'll be Louise Emma Williams who'll get that. Just want to make absolutely certain. It's saying Sienna Ho Shing up on the board. I think it's going to be Louise Emma Williams. We'll just wait for the board to revolve. It's saying Sienna Ho Shing up on the board. 4:35.80. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Rebecca Wren's getting second place, and third. The top 3 there were separated by 17/100ths of a second. So certainly all the momentum to me looked to be going from lane 7, but maybe she didn't touch the pad hard enough or well enough. But giving it to Sienna Ho Shing up on the board. I want to see what happens when they go to the backup, because no, there you go. Oh, my eyes were not deceiving me. It was Louise Emma Williams the winner. 4:35.29. There are certain times when you see things you think that definitely is not right, and that was a case in point. Louise Emma Williams anyway. 6 seconds improvement on the PB. 3 more 400 freestyles, but we have the swim off for the final place in the 50 breaststroke between Alexander Hurd of Tadcaster and Eve Linton of Grimsby. That's going to come after heat number 5. This is heat number 3 of the 400 freestyle. I'm just checking for any absentees. We don't seem to have a 0, so I can take that out of the equation. Harriet Lee of Tynemouth, Isabel Beecham of Richmond Dale, Macy Higginbottom of Kingston upon Hull, Alice Day of Darlington, Emma Wills back again for York City in 5, Grace Cook, Loftus Dolphins in 6, Sophie Much, Newcastle 7, the 14-year-old from Barnsley, Macy Yoxall going in lane number 8, and 9 is Mia Boyle of York City. Harriet Lee is our early leader, but this, I think, is another race where the lead will change hands on numerous occasions because they're all very similar kind of quality and times here. Lead from Much, 0.58 is what separates those two. Then Beecham's only 0.3 further back. It's becoming a little bit more concertina now, though, as they're all working very tight together. Harriet Lee just holding on from Isabel Beecham, and then a few lanes up in lane number 5, probably unaware what she is doing. Emma Wills of York City, and a couple of lanes further up, Sophie Much of Newcastle, who's right up there as well. Look at that, top 4 separated by less than a second, and it's getting very bunched up. Still just about holding on, Harriet Lee, but only just. Emma Wills coming right through there into probably 3rd place. Good battle on eyeball to eyeball lanes 1 and 2. Harriet Lee and Isabel Beecham, 17-year-olds from Tynemouth, Richmond Dale. Do labour the point sometimes, but the 40-year-old Emma Wills in lane number 5. It's moved up into 2nd place now, behind Beecham. Lee in 3rd place. Did say we might have multiple leaders in this one. That's how it's turning out to be. Our early leader's now no longer our leader. Beecham is now our leader, and Wills might, when they come back down this end, take over. 2 up from Emma Wills. Sophie Much is right there in the mix. And will it still be Beecham? Probably will just about be Beecham on this turn. Yeah, it is, but only by 17/100ths of a second. Then comes Harriet Lee. Those 3 are fairly well clear of the rest now, so the winner's likely to come from one of the 3 at the front of the field. Beecham still holding on. Isabel Beecham, 17 years of age, from Richmond Dale. 4:36.71 is her best. Now, has Emma Wills come to the front? Not quite. 6/100ths now. That's how tight 1 and 2 is. 1, 2 and 3 still only a second between them. And there's a huge gap to another section of 4 swimmers who are all pretty much in the line. Now, I think Emma Wills really wants to win this. The orange cap of York City up there. It's becoming a bit of a 2-swimmer race here between her and Isabel Beecham. I think Harriet Lee has quite got enough to get herself in the mix for the conclusion. Last 50. Now, who's got the determination? Who has got the speed to finish this off? Emma Wills really wants this, probably just as much as Isabel Beecham does. Beecham just with the advantage going into the wall, but it's so small. She is aware. Well, actually, also keep an eye on Harriet Lee coming back with a bit of strength at the end. But is this going to be Emma Wills' race, or is it going to be Beecham? It's just going to be Beecham. No, it's not. Actually, according to the board. No, we'll wait again for that to revolve. I think that's wrong. I think Beecham's got it. It's very tight anyway. The gap is negligible between 1 and 2, but it has now been confirmed. It was 18/100ths between them, and Isabel Beecham it is who gets the nod 4:36.77, which is rather gallingly for her. 6 100s outside her best. Heat number 4, all bar 1 are in there. So let's tell you who they are. Callie Ramshaw, Doncaster Darts. Georgia Robertson, City of Sheffield. Ella Took of Tynemouth. Abby Bowden of Kingston upon Hull. Alice Thickett, City of Sheffield. Izzy May Reeves of City of Sheffield. Madison Turner, Skipton. Grace Conroy of City of Sheffield. And Leonie Aldridge of Tynemouth. Alice Thickett to the best of the first 50. This is still a long way to go. This one on paper could be a bit more competitive than some. 4:17 is Abby Bowden's best. 4:18 for Alice Thickett. 4:21 for Ella Took. Those are the three who've been in that 4:20 area. Alice Thickett at the quarterway stage. Ella Took 0.26, 0.38 behind, but there's probably 7 who still have a chance of winning this early stages, who are not too far adrift to make a bit of a move. As Thickett also is Sheffield, leads to lead. Teammate Izzy May Reeves right alongside her in lane number 6, just a little bit back off the front 3. Ella Took now takes over. Bowden and Thickett will probably get their share of leading this race as well. They might be handing it like a baton from one to each other. Ella Took in the green and maroon costume nearest us, so those 3. It's the lead, but not by a great deal. Abby Bowden one up from her, and Alice Thickett one up from her, are all grouped within 2/3 of a second. And could well continue to be that way. Wait for anybody who's off the back of that pack to start to get involved. Could be Georgia Robertson of City of Sheffield, who's still a little way off the back, but it's not letting them go too much. Up in 6, Izzy May Reeves will try and keep in contact if she can. Still those 3 though. Took and Bowden now separated by 1/3 of a second. It was 0.64, I think, now down to 0.36. And those races are always better when they're racing each other. It gives a bit more propulsion. More kind of racing instinct comes in when you've got 2 other people in your eye line, as they have here. 3, 4 and 5 inseparable for the last couple of 100 meters. Over goes Took. Still only 4/10 separated 1, 2 and 3. They'll be actually getting really close to these 3 at this stage. There are little battles going on behind them, but in terms of going on to win it, with one more heat to go, top 3 in this should make the final relatively comfortably. Took looking across it now. Alice Thickett may be making her move at this stage. Alice Thickett thinking, right, this is the time to go. 50 to go. This is where I need to make my move, and Alice Thickett is doing just that. 4:18.15, her best. 4:17.44. Abby Bowden's been quicker than she has, and she's now responding. And Ella Took might be the one of the 3 to miss out here. Ella Took has done a lot of the pacemaking, if you like, for the other 2, but this is going to be a scrap to the finish. It's going to be a real sprint, last 15 meters. And it looks like it's going to be Abby Bowden who's going to get there first in lane 4. Yeah, she does. Forget what it says on there. That is not correct. Abby Bowden and Kingston upon Hull are the best finish of the 2. So when the board has sorted that one out, we will see Abby Bowden, Alice Thickett, Ella Took 1, 2, 3. Well, the official result has been given as Alice Thickett, 4:23.30. So we'll go with that. 5 100s between them. But they won't have to worry because they'll both be quite comfortably into the final later on today. Heat number 5, a couple of absentees in 6 and 7. Last heat of the 400 freestyle, Alexandra Woodhead of Kirklees in 0. 1 is Emily Brooke of the same club. Borough Stockton's providing us with Melody Jones in 2. 3, Laura Hodgson, Newcastle. Safira Gabani of City of Sheffield in 4. And lane number 5, Lucy Headley of Tynemouth. Lane 8, Lauren Graham of Chestlow Street. Neem Carroll of City of Leeds up there in lane number 9. Time-wise, very similar times for Gabani, for Headley and for Hodgson. 4:17, 4:18 and 4:19. So we can see a very similar kind of pattern to the previous race here, with maybe 3 going for it. 2 at the moment, 4 and 5, Gabani and Headley. But got a couple just off the back of those 2. One of whom is Laura Hodgson. And just about a body length adrift of her, Melody Jones of Borough Stockton. So that will be 150 of the 400 done. And no real pattern emerging. Sue might go on to win this. There's certainly, I'll tell you who's not going to win it, but there's 4 here that have definitely got a chance of doing so. Safira Gabani in 4. Moving to the front of the field now, ahead of Lucy Headley. Gabani with a 4:17.30 time, which is the fastest in the field overall. Leads by 0.22 from Headley. There you go. Hodgson's a little bit further adrift. Then comes Melody Jones, but 1 and 2 are not going to have huge differentials between them for a while, I don't think. Oh, these turns are very efficient. She gets into a stroke nice and early, and every time she looks like she might do something, there's a response from Lucy Headley on the other side. So what's the gap now? Gap is 0.78. Doesn't really change a great deal. Tracking each other stroke for stroke. Of course, they both know that they're anywhere near their best times, then final places await. Obviously don't want to expend too much energy because not a lot of recovery time in the 400 for this afternoon. Gabani now visibly looks to be opening up a slightly bigger advantage. Might be more like a second maybe this time, let's see. Yeah, over a second over Headley with 100 to go. There's no real threat coming from anywhere else. Laura Hodgson is seemingly happy with her 3rd place. 4th place is Melody Jones, and that's been the way it has been for quite some time, and doesn't look like there's any real chance of that changing. Safira Gabani just going into another gear now with 50 to go. Gabani with a sizable advantage over Lucy Headley. That's 25. So what kind of time will she be happy with? 4:17 it won't be, which is her best. 4:20 it could be. 4:20 is more likely today for Safira Gabani. 4:20 will certainly get the job done. In the 4:19s, yeah, 4:19.01 for our winner. So that's decent, pretty decent morning swim for her. Lucy Headley 2nd place, Laura Hodgson 3rd, 4th and Melody Jones. All of them with a decent chance of making that final. So the top 3 have for later on today. Safira Gabani will go in as the potential favourite to win that one later. We will be having a little gap, about an hour's break to little rest and recuperation, and then we'll come back for the 50 freestyle. But we do have another race yet. One more race before we conclude this session, or this half session, because we have to find out who the 10th swimmer is going to be for the 50 breaststroke final later on. You know that Maya Hall, Zoe Price, Paige Fenton, Emily Robson, Rebecca Keatley, Beth Hall, Georgina Wright, Avril Bowler and Penny Hobson have made it. What we need to know now is who's going to join them. Now bear in mind, it's an old bugbear of mine, when you have swim-offs, invariably both swimmers go quicker than they did when they swam the original race. And you think, well, if you could do it now, why couldn't you do it earlier on? So just bear in mind, 34.45 was the time these two did. I expect both of them to go quicker than they did this morning. Who's going to get there first? Looks very much like it could be Alexandra Hurd. Yeah, 34.02. Very tight, though, very tight. 34.02 for Alexandra Hurd. Eve Linton, 34.09. Do you know what? If they had both done those times earlier on, they would have finished 4th and 5th. It doesn't make any sense, does it? They could have done those times earlier on today. They both went something like a third of a second quicker. And had Eve Linton done that this morning, she would have been in the final. As it is, she'll be first reserve. And Alexandra here will be in there with the other 9. So that's the conclusion of the first part of this. We're back in about an hour's time, just under that, for the second part of the first session. If you follow me, 50 freestyle for men will be the first event, and then we'll follow it up pretty soon afterwards with the 200 breaststroke for women and the 50 butterfly for women. We'll see you in about an hour's time for more action from Ponds Forge.